than ever. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird.
We have never been more back.
Pushing the buttons. I'm glad to be back. This is great. Week 0 is what it is, and actually we got a really good slate for you. A lot of changes have been made to the high school ranks, and we want to hear from you what game you're at, because I'll tell you what, my good friend Tommy Moody and I used to always laugh about the fact that we would start the year in shorts, and we would end the year wearing jackets, pullovers, sweatshirts. It gets cold right around week 9. And right now, I debated whether or not just to bring a jacket just for the style of it, because you do not get much better week 0 weather because it is August the 23rd in the year of our Lord 2024 in South Carolina. It should be 110 degrees right now.
And it has been all summer.
It has, but we're being graced with like low 80s with no humidity, no wet bulb coming out today to delay any games. They're all going to start on time. They're not all going to end on time, but they're all going to start on time. And you can't ask for a better setup for a high school week 0. And we got a massive slate. We got a lot of cool new things coming for you this year that we'll talk about as we go in the show. We'll talk about some differences in the South Carolina High School League. I will try not to get myself sued. We'll see. But
I think that's my everyday goal when I wake up is Elijah, here's the things you need to do today. Pay your bills, get to work on time, don't get sued.
That's always up there. There's an Office quote for that too, but we'll do that off the air. If you are at a game, God bless you. It's a great night for high school football. And so as you get updates, give us updates. 803-404-6100 is where you can hit us on those phone lines. And if you are listening on your basic radio, thank you. If you're listening on the 107.5 The Game app, thank you. But this year, unlike in years past, because this is a thing that wasn't a thing last year, but it is now, the Game TV, you can watch us if you want to look at us, sure, on YouTube. The key there is you can go back tomorrow morning when you're sort of waking up on a Saturday and thinking, oh, man, there's actually a college football game on in a little bit, but there was high school last night. Maybe I should go back and check that out. You can do that
easily
on the YouTube page.
And watch it.
Which is always a good idea. So we got a lot to get into. I don't even know where I want to start, Elijah, other than the fact that the classifications and regions have changed.
Yes, I think that's the lead. That's the off-season lead here is the changes in classifications and catching everyone up to speed. If this is the only way you've been keeping up with high school football over the years, then there's a lot you missed from the time that we went off the air in December until right now.
You've missed a good bit. There are still 5 classifications. And by the way, I was on with Elijah and Mike during the postgame show around 4:30. And we were discussing this change. And Uncle Lou Bajak, he is now affectionately known as Uncle Lou on this program.
I like that, yeah. I think that can stick.
He fact-checked me on one thing, which is fine because I couldn't find Lou Goff-Elgin on my list. But he also will be calling in later, hopefully, and he will play devil's advocate to my position on this whole classification thing. But there are still 5 classifications, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A in the public school system. Region 1, I'm not going to go through all of these regions, but just to note a few changes. Region 1 and 5A, upstate, includes J.L. Mann, T.L. Hanna, Greenville, Greenwood. It's a hard-hitting region right there. That's tough man football.
J.L. Mann and T.L. Hanna, that is a top-heavy region right there.
But maybe not even as top-heavy as Region 2, which contains the likes of Dorman, Gaffney, Burns, Riverside, and Spartanburg, and Wade Hampton of the upstate. That's a loaded region.
Yeah, Wade Hampton made a jump, right?
They did. I believe so, yes.
That's a pretty decent jump.
Again, I don't have the previous one in front of me, so I'm having to do it by memory. Region 4, 5A, is where we start seeing some local teams. This region reads as follows: Chapin, Dutch Fork, Lexington, River Bluff, White Knoll.
As it always been.
And they added one more because the high school league said, you know what? This region isn't hard enough. So let's add Irmo. Let's add
one of those gifted teams in the state.
Let's add Coach Brand's ball club to this, and let's just see what happens. That's a classic high school league decision, but that is a tough region. And I will actually give you a quote from a 4A coach here in a second. Region 5 more local teams: Blythewood, Lugoff, Elgin, Ridgeview, Spring Valley, Sumter, Westwood, and West Florence is now 5A as well. If you go down to 4A, this is where you get some changes too. In Region 3, we're going to look at Midlands teams for now. In Region 3, you have AC Flora, Dreher, Lancaster, Richland Northeast, South Point, York. It's a really weird region. And Camden. So Camden makes the jump.
Mm-hmm.
And Camden's been a good program for a long time.
Man, they were at the doorstep of a state championship last year.
And the last couple of years.
That was a fun team last season.
They really is. They play good, hard defense. It's a good region. Region 4, 4A has a change. That region has North Augusta, South Aiken, Midland Valley, who went undefeated last year, along with Aiken and my Airport Eagles. And then they added 3 teams: Brooklyn Casey, Gilbert, and Gray. Those 3 teams have combined for like a bajillion wins over the last 3 years. And they are added to a region that saw Midland Valley and North Augusta just pummel teams last year into submission. That's a hard region.
That's the new best region in terms of newest regions.
Best, yes. And I have one coach on a conversation, I'll say on the record because I'm going to say it. He told me that pound for pound, that's the toughest region in the state. Pound for pound.
It's definitely one of them in terms of newest creations that this I guess realignment or reclassification monster has created. This is one of Frankenstein's, I guess, reclassification monsters, because that. You're bringing a lot of winners from different classifications and building like a little mini super league here.
Right.
Like it's a gauntlet. It's absolutely a gauntlet. And outside of 5A, there's not a doubt that that's the toughest one.
And by the way, in Region 5, 4A, you've got the likes of Crestwood, Darlington, the Darlington Falcons, Hartsville, Lakewood, Lower Richland, South Florence, and Wilson. Not an easy region there either. None of these are, to
South
be fair.
Florence maybe has the best player in the state.
That is
defensive
true.
line too.
That is true. Looking across the board here down to 3A, I feel, and this is a personal opinion, I feel like 3A took the biggest hit from the classification shuffle. I feel like a lot of really
competitive as 5A.
I feel like a lot of really, really capable programs, not saying these aren't, but really solid programs made the jump. And again, this is all based on school enrollment, so that's how it goes. But they lost a lot. I'm just looking here, local teams, Keenan and Swansea are in Region 4. Orangeburg-Wilkinson is in Region 6. Oceanside Collegiate, Region 6.
They gained Oceanside Collegiate, but lost some of the heaviest hitters that are in 3A.
Lost Gilbert.
Brooklyn Casey.
Yeah, they lost a lot. A lot. And in Class 2A, you've got Region 3, which features Eau Claire, local team. Region 2 has Pillion, Saluda, Strom Thurmond, Batesburg, Leesville, and the new American Leadership Academy. Looking at a few more here. In Class A, Abbeville, one to watch there. In 1A, C.A. Johnson is in Region 2, 1A, and we keep going down the list. So, again, we're going to have to learn this together because it's going to take a little bit. Like one of us on air earlier put Lugoff Elgin in 3A and they're in 5. So it's a learning curve, and it's going to take time for us to realize that Brooklyn Casey and Airport will once again be playing their rivalry matchup in region, and that's how it goes now. I don't know if they're still, I have to look at their schedule. When they were in a region together before, they would play 2 games, one in the region and one not in the region, a la the ACC and what they do.
Which always bothers me.
Well, you get those rivalry games in, you go, each of you are playing one game in your ballpark, so I guess it's all right.
A home and home. Honestly, twice in the same season is not bad, but I would be pretty ticked if I won the game that didn't count for region, but lost the one that did count for region, and that's the one that keeps you from winning your region title. And
so all of that to say, and by the way, we've got a look at the preseason media poll. We've got preseason top 10 quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and defensive players, according to the folks over at the state newspaper, and an all top 10 ranking across all classifications. Mike Gillespie was on with Elijah from 3 to 6. By the way, Elijah is going to be going on 7 hours of live radio consecutively.
That's right. An Elijah Campbell radio marathon, unfortunately for everybody else.
Today. So earlier, Mike asked me, is it still Dutch Fork's world and we're all just living in it? Yeah, maybe.
I think last year was the year to get them. I think last year was the year that 5A could have finally knocked off Dutch Fork and dethroned them as the kings of football in the state of South Carolina. And after, 6 weeks, it looked like, maybe finally it's not Tom Knott's year.
Right.
But they turn around, despite not winning the region and turning it all up on its head, and winning state by beating a team that beat them earlier in the year in White Knoll, and not just beating them, holding them to 6 points, and then scoring 21, which doesn't sound like a lot on the surface, right?
Right.
But against a White Knoll defense that no one was scoring against.
Exactly.
All season long.
Exactly.
And they are able to get the adequate amount of first downs and scores to be able to win that game. That might be the hardest state title Tom Knotts has had to win. That is a man who has won many a state title. So, yeah, until further notice, Dutch Fork has their flag planted right in the heart of the state.
I would agree with that. They've got the talent. However, it is worth noting that region got harder.
Yep.
Not only did that region get harder, but the team that many feel will challenge you most immediately for that region championship, you play them in the last week of the season. Very well could be for a region title.
Yes.
At Dutch Fork. Between
in the same town,
Dutch Fork and Irmo. Literally, you could walk from one stadium to the other. It'd be a little bit of a trek, but you could do it. That is, again, another rivalry that returns, and we can view it in region play. Tonight, we do have some really solid games. I want to run through these here as we're starting off the season, segment number 1 of the year. So if you do these by segments of the year, got a lot of these to come. By the way, you're thinking, wow, this is really early. Is it already 9 o'clock? No, it is not. We're 7 to 11 this year, so lock in.
New year, new us, baby.
Lock in. Tonight, AC Flora and Westwood, Christ Church and Hammond, James Island and Gray Collegiate, Oceanside Collegiate and Irmo, Gilbert and Lexington, Lugoff Elgin Lower Richland, JL Man Midland Valley, Burns, TL Hanna. That's a week 0 matchup, y'all. Burns and TL Hanna. We'll get into Burns a little bit later.
They're fascinating.
I can't use all my storylines within the first 15 minutes. West Florence and South Florence. It's a rivalry game in week 0. Airport goes to May River, and I've already told Coach Shane Fiddler that they might have the longest drive of the season. So just keep that in mind. We're going to have all of those scores. Those games haven't started yet, y'all. It ain't even 7:30 yet. So those haven't started yet. We'll set the table for you. Let's go to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. Kale is on the line. Go ahead, Kale.
What's up, guys? Calling you on the field from Eden Stadium on the sideline here for Christ Church and Hammond. We are a little less than 15 minutes until kickoff, and the teams have warmed up. Christ Church already is in the locker room, but Hammond's still out here on the field. And let me tell you guys, there is going to be a lot of college prospects in this game tonight that's being played. For Christ Church, there's quarterback Tucker Hendricks, who's a preferred walk-on commit to Clemson, and Jackson Rep, number 2, senior, who has an offer from South Carolina, Boston College, Army, and many more. And then their other wide receiver, Jude Hall, number 8, has offers from Duke, Cincinnati, and a few other Power 5 schools as well. And as for Hammond, the big focus on the guy for Hammond is number 1, Michael Tyler, who's committed to LSU at tight end. But they got a couple good additions here. I just found this out today. They have a DB, Jordan Boston, who just transferred over the offseason from Brooklyn Casey, and he received an offer from Memphis over in April. And I'm seeing him on the field, and he is a great addition to this Skyhawk secondary. Very big. He's standing at 6'2" and very fast and lean. And they've got another good DB in Zay Mathis, who currently holds offers from App State, Georgia Southern, and Arkansas State, and a couple others. And then their running back, Emmanuel Johnson, is also committed to Davidson College. So that's 7 D1 recruits right there that's being played in this game in the Capital City tonight.
Always a litany of talent over at Eden Stadium, a place I'm quite familiar with. Kale,
an embarrassment of riches.
An embarrassment of riches. You say they're still warming up. Was Hammond late to the field to warm up, or is this just their new way of doing things, or anything on that?
No, Christ Church was early, actually. Because I walked into the stadium and Hammond was entering to go into the locker room to get changed, and Christ Church was already out here. They weren't in their pads yet, but they were warming up in just their normal clothes before they put on the pads, and then they warmed up with the pads on. They went back to the locker room, I'd say, about 5 or 10 minutes ago. But now Hammond is lining up to go back into the locker room now. They're just doing a special teams drill real fast, and then they will be heading into the locker room to take the field.
All right, that's our buddy Kale, who's out at Eden's Stadium for Christ Church in Hammond. Appreciate it, man, and we'll be hearing from Kale throughout the night there and throughout the season, wherever he might be.
He's our Game of the Week guy this year. We are sending him out all over the place.
Christ Church and Hammond.
That's a hell of a one to start.
Well, Michael Tyler, and we got to hit a break. Michael Tyler, I was the PA guy when he was in 7th grade. We'll take a break, come back on the other side. More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show.
Don't feel old at all.
Coming up.
Fall is just around the corner. That means phenomenal weather and getting out to your favorite golf course here in the Midlands. Charwood Golf Club, where Rock and Daniel Lucas have an incredible layout and create a fun, relaxed environment each time you head out to the course. So give them a phone call today and line up that tee time, 803-755-2000. Again, that's 803-755-2000. Go find out about one of the Midlands' hidden golf gyms. That's Charwood Golf Club. Get out there today and schedule an appointment, 803-755-2000.
What's up, Gamecocks? Summer is officially here, and those famously hot temps, they aren't going anywhere soon. Super hot days can be incredibly stressful on your lawn, and even more stressful on the person maintaining it. So don't spend hours pushing around an old lawnmower or going 2 miles an hour on a bumpy old rider. Come to Cato's Power Equipment. Whether you have just a few weeds or tons of acres of grass to keep cut, our huge selection of Toro, Bravely, and Aaron zero turns will make short work of your yard. Guaranteed. Spend more time where it matters this summer. And let Cato's Power Equipment help make your yard an oasis, not a chore.
Calling all business owners and property managers.
Is it finally time to get that parking lot or driveway repaved?
Call Black Seal today. Black Seal is a locally owned commercial asphalt construction and maintenance company, servicing local churches, schools, shopping centers, warehouses, restaurants, you name it.
If it needs asphalt paving or asphalt repair,
Black Seal has you covered. If you're looking to pave your parking lot or driveway, Black Seal paves the way. Black Seal also provides maintenance options to maintain your asphalt
and improve your curb appeal.
Get your free estimate and visit blacksealsc.com to learn more.
Get ready to smile because Herndon Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer, is offering an amazing deal right now. Get up to $20,000 off new Silverados. Yes, you heard that right. Up to $20,000 off. Don't wait. Head over to HerndonChevy.com today and drive home in the truck of your dreams. Chevy, together let's drive.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Call 803-510-5447 for complete details.
Firehouse Subs, Hook and Ladder jingle, take one.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Warm that smoky turkey, that thin slice honey.
Guys, this is a 30-second ad. You gotta sing faster.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Melty cheese and toast bread, mustard, mayo, purpose bread, lettuce, green, and onion. The sandwich is too big for the song. It's too big.
The Hook and Ladder, available only at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants.
Honey, look, the hookers. They've moved off the highway and now they're all over the parking lot.
What are all those Schroeder's towing trucks doing in that parking lot, though?
Must be towing all those unauthorized cars parked in the lot. Good thing the business owner called Schroeder's Towing to keep their parking lot clear for just their customers. Didn't those cars see the free signage that Schroeder's provides to business owners to deter unauthorized parking?
I guess not.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
Summer was fun. Now the kids are back in school, and you finally got some time to get your house back in order. It's time to get your home fresh and clean for the fall. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning today and mention me, Bill Gunner, 107.5 The Game, to get a free hallway with 3 rooms of carpet for only $129. Book online at ZerorezColumbia.com. Zerorez, spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show, Week 0 edition of the program. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird, keeping us on the air, train on the track, making sure we don't just blow this whole thing, and doing a masterful job as well. I can't go far. We went that first segment. I do have to mention I was not listening live at 5:15 yesterday, but I did go back and watch the announcement of the Gamecock Hall of Fame, and I can't let the first show go by without saying how thrilled I am that Tommy Moody is going to be in the Hall of Fame, and brought me back to when he would come in here, usually first week of the season. He's talking about the Hall of Fame, and we're going through it, and so that was a good moment, and happy for him, happy for his family. And, of course, although this isn't new, I mean, we did this the last couple weeks of last season, but certainly still, still kind of strange to not get some text throughout a Friday evening. So really happy for Tommy's family. All the work he poured into that Hall of Fame is recognized, and deservedly so.
And that university, man.
Total.
That no one knew more about that university and that athletic department.
No question.
Than Tommy Moody. And it's relevant to bring it up the show, not because he did it, but also that guy was not just a wealth of knowledge about Gamecock athletics, but was even more so knowledgeable about high school sports around here. I learned a lot about the high school sports scene around here because of Tommy Moody. So yesterday was really, really cool. And if you haven't seen it or listened to it, Jay Phillips did a fantastic job announcing that with Seth Rose yesterday here in studio in the final hour of the Thursday postgame show. Highly recommend either going to it on our podcast page or go back on YouTube and watching it. But it was a really special moment in the history of this studio.
No question about that. And appreciate Seth Rose given the opportunity there to make that announcement here. So what we typically have always done in segment 2 of a program is go through the media poll, because these are rankings. They are not ratings. And it goes as such. So here are the rankings for the different classifications. We'll highlight some Midlands teams as we go. In Class 5A, give you a nickel if you can guess who the number 1 team is preseason. Yep, it's Dutch Fork. 13 first-place votes.
You're giving out a lot of nickels. I know a lot of people that yelled in their cars right now. Dutch Fork, Dutch Fork, Dutch Fork.
Yeah, I didn't shake on it, though. Gaffney is 2.
That's a loophole.
Gaffney is 2 with 3 first-place votes. Somerville comes in at 3. Northwestern at 4 with 1. First-place vote.
Singular. They will not after tonight.
No, they will not. More to come. Irmo is 5. White Knoll is 6. TL Hanna 7, JL Man 8, Sumter 9, Hillcrest 10, Spartanburg, Burns, Ridgeview, Fort Dorchester, James Island, Clover, Carolina Forest, and Greenwood all are also receiving votes. In Class 4A, this is where your biggest, this is probably where your most Midlands representation lies. West Side gets all 17 first-place votes. They're followed by South Lawrence, Daniel, South Point, Camden rounds out the top 5. Gray Collegiate, number 6, new head coach. Hartsville 7, Midland Valley 8, Brooklyn Casey 9, Gilbert 10, new head coach. Also receiving votes in 4A, Beaufort, AC Flora, Greer, Crestwood, May River, North Augusta, and York. Class 3A, Belton Honeypath, BHP, henceforth, 10 first-place votes. Oceanside Collegiate gets 6, Dillon gets 1. Christchurch comes in at number 4 in Class 3A. They're, again, a very big game tonight over at Eden's Stadium. Chapman, the Fighting Debo Samuels, are number 5. Pendleton 6, Silver Bluff 7. We got a tie for 8th between Broome and Powdersville. And Marlborough County comes in at number 10. Hanahan, Mountain View Prep. That's a new school, I think. Loris Keenan, St. Joseph's, Newberry, Woodruff, Battery Creek, Southside Christian, and Aner getting votes there. In 2A, we'll fly through these. Chester, Clinton. There we go. First slip of the season. Hampton County, Strom Thurmond, Barnwell, Fairfield Central, Phillip Simmons, Saluda, Manning, Andrew Jackson. Someone's going to call here and say, it's not Clinton, it's Clinton. I know. Sherrall, 96, Timberland, Batesburg, Leesville, Marion, Whale Branch, Atlantic Charter, another new school, Chesney, and Andrews all receiving votes. And I will not shake on this, and I would not give you money for this because you should know it. The number 1 team in Class A preseason is Abbeville, the Panthers, 17 first-place votes there. Your Class A actually looks very similar to last year. Bamberg, Earhart, Louisville, Johnsonville, Lamar, Blackville, Hilda, Calhoun County, Lakeview, Latta, and Cross, all rounding out the top 10. So that's your Class 5 through 1A preseason top 10, according to those folks in the media. I will say there was a video that popped up a couple weeks ago, Elijah. I don't know if you saw this, but Coach Knotts over at Dutch Fork said that some of the members of the media didn't have them ranked. I'm like, it hadn't been a poll yet. What do you mean you're not ranked? It's the same thing that happened at Georgia. Remember when they won the national championship? I think it was the year they beat TCU.
Yep.
And one of their players, I cannot remember who, and I wouldn't even dare to guess.
One of the 4 or 5 stars that will eventually go on to play in the NFL. Yes, one of those.
Said, and I quote, "We know a lot of people had us going 7-5," end quote. To which I ask, whom?
Are those people in the room with us?
Whomst had you going 7-5? So the same question goes, whomst did not have Dutch Fork ranked, is my question. Answer,
Nobody.
No one. Because...
Not a soul.
Because, Mr. Campbell, Dutch Fork is the number 1 team in the all-ranking top 10, according to the state newspaper. They went 10-5 last year. Do you know what they went? Do you know what their record was the first 7 games of the year? They went 10-5. What was their record the first 7 games of the year?
2-5, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they started
Can't pull
off
anything on him.
No.
Yeah, it started off not well.
Got all up here on the noggin.
Josh Smith, defensive commit to Coastal Carolina. Elgin Sessions, he's going up to Country Roads. That's a John Denver reference.
That's
Going
right.
to West Virginia. And the Silver Foxes return Ethan Offing, Maurice Anderson, and a, quote, talented group of wide receivers and offensive linemen. Dutch Fork's going to be really good. And Ethan Offing coming back is a big deal.
Him coming back last year was one of the reasons why they won the state title. He got banged up early in the season.
Right.
They had to dig into the bench a little bit. They were already a young team last year, so they had to learn some lessons the hard way. But now those kids are a year older.
Right.
They're bigger, faster, stronger. Another year under Tom Knotts, who's arguably the best coach in the state of South Carolina. They know how to win, even in a year in which you start 2-5. I would be terrified of them. Like I said in the first segment, last year was the year to get them, and if you didn't get them, then you have missed out.
By the way, a huge point of emphasis for us this season is to make sure that we highlight the players on the field, and to that point, make sure that we talk Cruton. We want to know Cruton. We want to know what players are getting looks, who's getting offers, what's happening here, what's going on, and that will color a lot of our conversation, especially when we're talking about big-time plays from big-time players, because we want that to be a point of emphasis this season. A quarterback that also is committed to a P4. I'm getting used to that, by the way, Power 4.
I always slip up. It's still, I don't know if I've gotten that. I haven't beaten that out of my brain.
Rest in peace to the Pac-12, because I was here.
Hate it.
We were here.
For the last ever Pac-12 football game.
Since the last show of this program, the Pac-12 died, I think. I think got pushed off a cliff
Rest
or
in
something.
peace. Yeah.
Man, it's tragic. Anyway.
It was brutal. But we got to witness history together in the studio on this esteemed radio program.
But that's okay. Yes. That's okay. Because of that, Cal will play Clemson in a conference game.
That's disgusting.
Because that's the way it should be, apparently.
Sick.
Speaking of commitments to colleges and quarterbacks in this state, the number 2 team in this all-season ranking, or all classification ranking, there we go, is Irmo. Last year they went 13-1. I think A.J. Brand had a turnover.
The entire season.
Yeah. They were 1 game away from that championship game last year. And A.J. Brand is committed to the Hokies, Virginia Tech. And I think they're a dark horse in college football this year. That's neither here nor there. That's another conversation for one of your guys' shows during the week. But we will be following the story of A.J. Brand and a 4-star receiver in Donovan Murph, who he'll be throwing the ball to. We'll get more of the all top 10 classification rankings on the other side of the break. More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show coming up right here on the game.
This year, Roy and Dana Finley are shaking things up at AAA Heating and Air. For the next 12 months, they're telling their customers no. Get a new system purchase with no payments and no interest for a whole year. You heard that right. Purchase a brand new system in 2024 and get no payments and no interest until 2025. Do what I did. Call AAA Heating and Air today for your free estimate. 803-677-1500. Tell them Bill Gunner sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Join Lexington Medical Center for the Tunnel to Towers Columbia 5K Run and Walk on Friday, September 13th at 7 p.m. This unforgettable patriotic event champions the heroism of our nation's first responders and service members. Then stick around for the after party featuring live music, family-friendly events, and food trucks. Walk or run to honor our heroes. To register, visit t2trun.org. Opening ceremony at 6 p.m.
We are so excited. Sound and Images has upgraded to a phenomenal facility at 807 Bluff Road, right there across the street from our friends at the State Fair. We have new upgraded facilities, video conferencing room experience that will seat up to 35 people depending on configuration. We also have meeting space and venue space on property to offer our partners at Sound and Images. Please contact Sound and Images at soundandimages.net, your commercial AV installation and live event production specialists.
Firehouse subs, hook and ladder jingle, take one.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Warm that smoky turkey, that thin sliced honey.
Guys, this is a 30-second ad. You gotta sing faster.
Hook and ladder, when it's hot, it just tastes better. Melty cheese and toast spread, mustard, mayo, purple spread, lettuce, green, and onion. The sandwich is too big for the song. It's too big.
The Hook and Ladder, available only at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants.
Get ready to smile because Herndon Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer, is offering an amazing deal. This month, you could drive home in a brand new Silverado 2500 with financing as low as 5.9% for up to 84 months. Head over to HerndonChevy.com today and drive home in the truck of your dreams. Together, let's drive.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Call 803-510-5447 for complete details.
Do you like to play golf?
Are you passionate about helping others?
Then join us at our 16th annual Oliver Gospels Charity Classic,
where all proceeds support the care of men, women, and children at Oliver Gospel and Toby's Place.
Assemble your team and help us golf for good on October 7th at Fort Jackson Golf Club.
Go online to olivergospel.org/golf tournament to sponsor or sign up today for the tournament.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
Jerry Jones, when he said we're going all in, I thought Derrick Henry is going to be out there. Go get a couple of free agents, add them to the Cowboys. And instead, as we all know, they didn't do very much in free agency at all. What a difference we'd be talking about the Dallas Cowboy chances of winning it all this year if that guy was there.
Who may not have wanted to go to Dallas.
I don't know about that. Why would you want to do that?
Ravens a little bit better of a football team, maybe?
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show, Week 0 edition of the program. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird, Master Control.
The one and only.
We are firing on all cylinders because for us in this room, it's Football Friday. And for you listening at home, it's Football Friday. It is 7:33 p.m., which means that if all games fire away as scheduled, and I worked in baseball for years, so if start time's 7:05, first pitch better go at 7:05. So if you haven't started your game yet, have a word with the officiating crew. Don't do that. But just know that they better be starting within the next 5 minutes.
Stare at them judgingly.
Yes, they'll understand.
Yes, they will feel your glare, trust me.
Because they're trained for it. So a lot of games going on around the Midlands. We'll keep you updated on those as the scoring begins. Again, if you're used to this show being 9 to midnight, I'm with you. I'm used to that too. But we decided to do something different this year. We're doing 7 to 11 because it's fun. And we'll get you teed up for the week. We'll get you teed up for big-time games and then get you from first quarter through the end of the game and then take some post-games, plural, calls as they come in. 803-404-6100 is where you can get us on the Love Chevy phone lines. You can also watch us on the Game TV, on the old YouTubes. And then you can, of course, listen on your normal, I'm going to call it a terrestrial radio. I don't know if that's the word I want to use.
Extraterrestrial radio?
Oh, if it's an extraterrestrial radio, we got a problem. Phone home. So there are plenty of options for you to watch, to listen, do whatever you need to do. We were discussing some of the all-ranking top 10 heading into break. We left off with Irmo. A.J. Brand has committed to the Hokies. Coach Brent Pry, is at Virginia Tech. I'm telling you.
Virginia Tech and Georgia Tech have two Brents coaching. There's a Brent Pry and a Brent Key.
So it takes a second for me to get it quite right, but we've got it. But before we get back into Irmo, for the first time in 2024, we go to the Love Chevy phone lines, and Gamecock Larry joins us on the line. Go ahead, sir.
Well, this is Gamecock Larry. I just got a message from old Root Hog. I called him. Go straight to voicemail. Root Hog, bring your Gilbert America on down here to Lexington, and we're going to send you back home with a defeat. But I just called. I miss my old buddy Tommy Moody, and I just want to say I miss him, but I love listening to the high school game show. But everything's going to be all right. I'm going to listen to you as long, every night, every Friday night. If I'm able, I'm going to listen to you. And I know you probably get tired of me calling.
Never.
But when the football season get hot, then we going to see what, then you're going to hear me give you my predictions. And all you Clemson fans, get ready. You have a zero chance of covering the spread, much less a win. That's all I got to say. Go BC.
That's Gamecock Larry,
That's
folks.
right. That is Brooklyn Casey legend, Gamecock Larry.
That is true, who also laid down the gauntlet and the challenge to Gilbert. Just saying. Take that for what it's worth. Also, I can go ahead and tell you, he's going to tell us that the Gamecocks are going 12-0 until he's proved otherwise.
He's a man of fearless predictions.
That's
I love
what
it.
happens. And yes, I echo your sentiments, Gamecock Larry. We all miss our buddy Tommy. Now, we're going back to Irmo here for a second because we left off with Donovan Murph. Donovan Murph is the, I would say, their go-to wide receiver this year, as he was last year. Donovan Murph, according to On3, is a 3-star. However, the composite industry ranking has him as a 4 because On3 is the only service that has him as a 3.
They're the lowest on him. That kid can play. He is not a 3-star. I will tell you that right now. I'm not a professional scout, but I have watched that kid play. He is not a 3-star.
He's received offers from the following programs: Oregon, Alabama, Florida, Clemson, and South Carolina. Now, I will tell you, 2 of these things is not like the other. Fair?
Very fair,
okay.
Yes. In the year of our Lord 2024. Absolutely.
So Oregon and Alabama are bona fide playoff contending teams. Florida, if they go 6-6, it's a miracle. I mean, they're probably going to be really good and go 6-6 with that schedule. Clemson is fringy, and South Carolina, I have no clue. So that's kind of where we are there. But that's a name to watch, and we'll watch that throughout the year. Donovan Murph. White Knoll comes in at number 3. All the top 3 teams all play in the same region, y'all.
Scary.
White Knoll.
That's why as good as that new 4A region is, with Gray Collegiate and
Brooklyn Casey, Gilbert.
Midland Valley, as scary as that is, I don't know if I can concede best region in the state to that solely because this one exists.
Yes, exactly. That's why I think that coach can put in the caveat of pound for pound. The Timberwolves last year went 14-0 up until the last game of the season. White Knoll graduated more than 20 seniors from that team, senior-laden group. But Lou says they should be a contender. Landon Sharp returns. Sophomore running back Tyon Fanning returns.
Yeah, it's such a good year last year.
So your quarterback and your running back are back. The key will be finding replacements on a defense. You ready for this, y'all? White Knoll last year allowed 7.5 points per game. 7.5. I will let you know that if you hold a team to a touchdown and a little more, you got a good shot at winning, unless you're Iowa. The number 4
then you'll
team,
go 8-4. Yes.
and get popped for a recruiting violation.
Somehow.
Number 4
for a quarterback.
Somehow, for a quarterback of all things. They finally tried to get one. I'm sorry, that was mean. Because they had a guy named Stanzi at one point.
Ricky Stanzi. That's right.
My gosh.
That was the last good Iowa quarterback.
I think so.
They don't pop up often.
Gamecock fans still remember Sean Green in that Outback Bowl. Brooklyn Casey comes in at number 4, 11-3 last year. Will Young had 2,327 all-purpose yards and 34 touchdowns.
Mr. Everything for that team last year.
But the Bearcats do have a veteran offensive line. However, they're without starting quarterback Dre Dobson until week 3. So there's your weak link there. Ridgeview went 8-3 last year. Jordan Gidron returns. Trey Howard at quarterback this year. It's his job. He split it with Braylon Boyd last year. Ridgeview is a sneaky team. The Blazers, sneaky ball club this year to keep your eye on. And then, of course, Camden comes in at number 6, according to the state newspaper. Camden, I love this. Camden came up 1 yard short in overtime of winning the Class 3A state championship. It's true. It's very true.
They Kevin Dysoned.
They did.
The state championship game.
They did.
Which is a terrible way to lose a championship of any kind.
You're replacing Grayson White, record-setting quarterback, finished his career with more than 9,500 total yards and 115 total touchdowns.
Yeah, he was good at leading offense to scoring drives.
JoJo Krim and Tylen Drakeford both return. They are D1 prospects. Great collegiate. New head coach D'Angelo Bryant. They make the move to 4A this year, but they return their quarterback, a running back, Michael Bulware, the linebacker, and defensive end Zeb Taylor. We've heard a lot about them over the last couple years. They return those guys. AC Flora, disappointing year last year, 4-7. Their first losing season since 2017. But they return their quarterback, Roper Winsky. They return wide receivers Kendall Bird and Joshua Davis. But they've got to get better on defense. Remember, White Knoll allowed 7.5 points per game. AC Flora last year surrendered 36.5 points per game on average. You cannot do that.
Nope.
And win games.
It's the opposite of White Knoll, the anti-White Knoll.
It's the anti-White Knoll. You can't look at your offense and say, hey, you got to score 38 bare minimum. Have at it, kids. Gilbert comes in at number 9. Chad Leapart has departed the program. He's retired from coaching and is now the athletic director for all of Lexington School District 1. His assistant coach, Ozzie Exume, takes over, and you got a lot of guys back. Trevon Williamson, Jalen J., tight end Connor Gooding, who is committed to Marshall.
Hey.
Which, by the way, I know you mentioned on your show today that to get ready for high school football, you watched Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
And Remember the Titans. Remember the Titans is an all-time classic.
Oh, that's great. I can almost quote that entire movie.
We Are Marshall with Matthew McConaughey and the guy from Lost. That's how I know him.
I'm never going to know that guy's name.
I'm never going to know his name. It's the guy from Lost.
And I can immediately conjure up an image in my head of what he looks like.
Oh, one of the worst final seasons of any show ever. Anyway, that movie gets me geared up for college football simply because it's the heart and soul of what college football is. Yes. Anyway,
and Connor I love Gooding, the Marshall program.
Of course, who doesn't? Connor Gooding committed to Marshall. Gilbert and Brooklyn Case are going to make some noise in that region. There's no question. And then Hammond wraps up the top 10. They finished 11-2 last year. 7 straight state championships for the Hammond Skyhawks.
Is that good?
That's decent. Michael Tyler, as we talked about, tight end commit to LSU. I'm assuming he wants to be a part of the family. And then Manny Johnson, who's committed to Davidson. We talked about earlier. Kenson Hollander back. Andrew Turner back at quarterback. Just missing the cut according to this illustrious list. Blythewood, Chapin, Fairfield Central, River Bluff, Saluda, and Keenan. The Raiders, by the way, returned 20 starters from last year. 20.
I would say that bodes well for continuity.
You field 22. They returned 20.
That's as close to batting 1,000 as you can get when it comes to returning players.
We'll come back. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard, see if anything's happened, and we will get you continuing on here looking at the top players in the state in 2024 right here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on the Game.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football.
8 days till kickoff.
While others take full advantage of the market with ridiculous add-on stickers, Love never sells above MSRP. Come experience the difference at Love Chevy, your trusted family-owned dealership since 1961. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Powered by Integrated Media, The Game TV.
Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass, a true reflection of quality.
The Game TV.
Sponsored by Shepherd's Glass.
Looking for top-notch care for your furry friends? Come to locally owned and operated Gardner's Ferry Animal Hospital of Columbia. Their compassionate team offers a full range of services, from wellness exams and vaccinations to advanced surgical procedures. With state-of-the-art facilities and a warm, welcoming environment, your pets will feel right at home. From sporting dogs to the latest designer breeds, at Gardner's Ferry Animal Hospital, you can trust they will keep your pets happy and healthy. Call 803-776-4554 or visit GardnersFerryAnimalHospital.com.
Attention South Carolina residents turning 65 or approaching retirement. Don't wait to choose your Medicare coverage. The Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina Medicare team can help you find your plan right away. We offer plans that let you choose from our large network of doctors and hospitals and fast local service. Time is short, so call 833-747-0533. 833-747-0533 today.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back in. Final segment of hour number 1 of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird at Master Control, punching buttons right through that glass there, right through that screen, if you will. Week 0, it's the 0th week of the season. I will no longer. I am surrendering the battle. I am no longer fighting against the idea of week 0. It is what it is, and I can't stop it. I have had to surrender to the idea that there is such a thing as a week 0. 0 is a number, I suppose, and so I guess we have to say that it is week 0. Let's look really quickly at some...
I never will.
I know. I know you won't. I finally just had to give up the ghost at this point. There's nothing I can do. A quick check of the scoreboard. The Golden Hurricanes of Wren lead the Palmetto Mustangs 7-0. A lot of games are scoreless. Wilson Hall, Skiza action. Skiza alert. Wilson Hall up on Orangeburg Prep 3-0. The Jacksonville Jaguars are up on the Falcons 7-0 in some preseason action. That's because Kirk D. Cousins isn't playing right now. And everybody else is scoreless because games just got underway, and the defense is always ahead of the offense.
That's right.
Early in the year, right?
A lot of penalties, but, I'm trying, and I look like... I can imagine this is how my dad looks trying to maneuver through his TV, trying to find this game because Lexington and Gilbert is on Watch Fox.
Digital channel.
Yeah.
You got to do the dash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, you need a little bit of a longer leash to get that
I'm glad
done.
that the game TV, like our cameras, was not panned to me trying to figure this out because I am drooling all over myself trying to get this pulled up on the TV right here. But I can tell you because it's on my laptop right now, Lexington is driving. It's still donuts on the board, both teams, but Lexington is driving. They are deep in Gilbert territory. They are in the red zone. It looks like they can pan out here. But, yeah, they are starting to move the ball a little bit. Gilbert got the ball first. Yep, they're on the 8-yard line, handoff up the middle, and Lexington's on the board. Our first score in that game.
Nice.
Our first live touchdown score, I guess, on this show, on this esteemed program.
That would be correct. Let's look at some preseason position rankings because, again, as the scores roll in, we're looking at players here. And what's going to happen as the season rolls on, you're going to have more storylines coming team-wide wise. But let's look at some quarterback rankings here. Again, according to our friends over at the state, Parker Murray, 10th in the Midlands. This is Midlands. Parker Murray from River Bluff. Tyler Waller from Gray Collegiate comes in at number 9. Patrick Belk from Heathwood Hall. Missed most of his sophomore season with foot injury, but as a sophomore, he had over 1,800 yards. So that's impressive. Missed most of it and still had that much. Trey Howard split time at quarterback last year, as we talked about for Ridgeview. He comes in at 7. Ethan Offing from Dutch Fork. In his sophomore year, he threw for 1,311 yards, rushed for 412, had 12 total touchdowns. Also a standout baseball player. Roper Winsky. That is a high school quarterback name. Roper Winsky from AC Flora.
Yes, it is.
Also a standout for the Falcon baseball team. 2,600 yards, 30 touchdowns last year. Brady Albro from Chapin. Threw for 3,000 yards, tick over it, 24 touchdowns, was an all-state selection, comes in at number 4. Landon Sharp, White Knoll, senior, was first-team all-state, completed 67% of his passes, 30 touchdowns, also rushed for 7 tutties and 400 yards. Will Wilson, Richland Northeast, committed to the Wolfpack of NC State. Will Wilson.
Good program there. Dave Doran doing some good stuff.
Dave Doran, man, if you want to win 9 games, he's your guy.
That's your guy. They will take that happily.
And they would. There are a lot of places that would. Hint, hint.
Not so subtle.
Will Wilson completed 64% of his passes last year. He threw for 22 and ran for 25. He's ranked as the 18th best prospect in the state by 24/7. And the number 1 quarterback in the Midlands, according to the state newspaper, is A.J. Brand from Irmo. He set school records for total offense last year. This one young man, who was a junior at the time. So he is fresh into driving on his own. Think about that. Fresh into driving on his own with no time restrictions. Had
ultimate freedom.
Had 4,045 yards by himself. All purpose. Is that insane? He threw 45 touchdown passes. He accumulated another 17 on the ground. He was named the 4A Lower State Offensive Player of the Year and first-team All-State. He is committed to the Virginia Tech Hokies, as we've mentioned, and he is the 20th best prospect in the state of South Carolina, according to 24/7. Also, worth noting some other folks, Johnny Collins of Blythewood, Andrew Turner of Hammond, Dre Dobson, quarterback at Brooklyn Casey, Desmond Washington at Keenan, and Aiden Jones, the Diamond Hornets of Lower Richland.
Love that nickname.
The Diamond Hornets?
Diamond Hornets.
You know they used to just be the Diamonds?
I did not.
I learned you something today.
Yeah,
they were
I got
just
learned.
the Diamonds. Yeah, for a long time, actually.
So what constituted the change to Diamond Hornets?
You know what? I don't know that specifically, but I can tell you that Lower Richland has some notable alumni. Did you know that? Like, there are some notable alums.
Hit me with it.
From Lower Richland.
I love calling teams by their alums.
Specifically football. And I'm blanking on it. I'll get it to you, though, because there are some legitimate players who have played at Lower Richland. A lot to get into this season, and it comes with the classifications. It comes with everything that goes along with reclassification and a movement and a realignment, if you will. No TV money involved in this realignment, though.
You telling me Watch Fox doesn't dole out millions upon millions of dollars for Lexington and Gilbert to be broadcasted tonight?
I don't think so.
We haven't reached that late stage high school sports
Someone
yet.
call Dowell. Someone call Dowell and ask him. No, I don't think so. Now, what also is happening is we have opened up a new room here in the building for your high school program, and that is the Undefeated Club.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And right now, as it stands, everybody's in that.
It won't be by the end of the night, though.
Nope. Half of the teams that are playing tonight will lose. Breaking news. I have it on good authority. Hold on. I'm touching my finger to my ear. Half of the teams tonight that are playing will lose.
We are in America. We don't do ties.
We do not. We refuse. In this football, we don't do that. So, yes, there will be losers tonight. And that is just the brass tacks. Just for one night.
And then you get into the Undefeated Club.
No one's counting you out.
It's a winners-only club.
Right. Now, as we're nearing the end of hour number 1, if I had to pick one team that I think goes undefeated this year, one from 5A in the Midlands and one from 4A in the Midlands, I'm not going to go the easy Dutch Fork. I'm not going to do it.
You know what? My take is they don't.
Do you think Irmo does?
I think Irmo gets them.
Okay. So
Irmo can get them.
I like that. I like that a lot.
I'm trying to get spicy here. I think Dutch Fork, as good as they are, can get got, at least in the regular season. Mm-hmm. And this is the first time, and I don't know how long, but, I mean, Irmo and Dutch Fork are going to get to play.
Sure.
This is a really good really good Irmo team. I am buying what Coach Brand and those fellas are selling, and I'm buying a lot of that stock.
I will go a separate. I'll stay in the Midlands, of course. Ridgeview.
Okay.
I like purple.
Yeah, they do have some. And when I say nasty, this is a compliment. Some nasty uniforms.
They are nice to look at. They are very nice to look at. I'll go Ridgeview because that's kind of off the board.
Yeah,
in 4A, it hurts me to do this. Brooklyn Casey.
Oh, as an airport grad, you had just said you are calling Brooklyn Casey.
I'm not saying the airport's going to go winless. I'm just saying that I think Brooklyn Casey's going to. I don't know about Gilbert. I have a good idea about
a lot
Gilbert.
of change. Yeah, they had a lot of great senior talent last year that
Brooklyn Casey won 11 games. Brooklyn Casey won 11 games. And
here's the thing: what Brooklyn Casey does on the line of scrimmage last year was incredibly impressive.
They destroy you,
and they bring a lot back. And I think being able to do that is going to win you a lot of games, on its head. So
yeah, I think that
good recipe to win any football game. I don't care what league you're playing in.
It is. And I'm, we could sit here and go order a finish, but I think that's a waste of our brain energy. Notable runners up there, Camden. I think Camden could be a solid pick there in that region. In Region 3, there's some tricky games though across each schedule, and so you got to be very careful. But those are our picks. That I think those teams have the most likely opportunity to stay in the undefeated club from week 0 to week. I guess that's technically week 10, but it's the 11th week of the season again. Do you see where the math really just eats itself?
Where the math isn't mathing.
The math doesn't math after today.
What type of example are we setting for the kids who are in secondary school right now?
Literally in high school.
Yeah, they are trying to learn math, and we are not doing a great job of setting that example.
What do you mean week 0? Is that a thing? Well, we made it up because we wanted to have a couple teams play in a different country. And then the high school just adopted it. Whatever. It's fine. Hour number 1 in the books. We got plenty more to come here. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on the game.
Guess what, people? Wendy's has new saucy nugs. You heard me. Wendy's nugs now come in 7 saucy flavors. Buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, spicy ghost pepper. You can literally hear your taste buds after every bite. I'm serious. Listen to mine. Okay, that's just me playing with sound effects, but you got the idea. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
You can count on hot summers in the Midlands.
You can count on those South Carolina roads biting.
And when you end up with a broken windshield, you can certainly count on Absolute Glass.
With one phone call, we can repair, replace, and recalibrate your car's windshield.
We'll handle the insurance calls, and for most folks, it won't cost you a dime to let us fix your windshield.
Absolute Glass has been voted Lexington's best for 15 years straight.
So call Absolute Glass at 951-7200.
Or find us online at absoluteglassinc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
This year, Roy and Dana Finley are shaking things up at AAA Heating and Air. For the next 12 months, they're telling their customers no. Get a new system purchase with no payments and no interest until 2025. And don't forget their 15-year parts and labor warranty, $1,500 old system buyback, and guaranteed financing. So do what I did. Call AAA Heating and Air for your free estimate today and tell them Jay Phillips sent you.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Hilton Garden Inn, downtown Columbia, and Gamecock football go hand in hand for the ultimate fan experience. Located in the heart of the city, their prime location offers easy access to all the action on game day. With home dates available for exciting matchups against Old Dominion, LSU, Ole Miss, Wofford, Missouri, and Texas A&M, there's no better place to stay for Gamecock football season. Book your room now by calling 803-227-3400 and let them take care of the rest. Enjoy comfort, convenience, and hospitality at Hilton Garden Inn, Columbia downtown.
WNKT-FM, Eastover, Columbia.
The home of the national champion, Gamecocks women's basketball team. Congrats, y'all.
A Cumulus media station. It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5. The Game.
Welcome back in, hour number 2 of the program. It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. I've been transported.
That's right.
I feel like I should have a mustache or something. Should I? I don't know. Sort of do. It's week 0 of the program and of the high school football season. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird, along for the ride. We're here until 11. 803-404-6100. I listen to this station way too much because I almost just pulled a Terry Ford, and I should never do that. I almost said we're cooking up until 11, and I'd never want to say that, but I've heard it enough. And
it's become part of your daily vocabulary.
He's going to pop out here in like 2 seconds because I think he lives here.
He does. Yeah, he does not leave. I can confirm. He does not leave.
Does not leave. So he'll pop down here in a second. There are scores now that have been made. It's not 0-0 anymore, but we're here until 11. If you've got an update for us, we love to hear from you. You make this show better. 803-404-6100 is where you can get us on the Love Chevy phone lines, or you can tweet at me, at Justin B. Hall, and Elijah's is
at @E_Campbell3.
There it is.
Yeah.
I don't have that memorized.
Or us at 107.5 The Game on Twitter as well.
All of that works. All of it works, and it will get your score read and any other insights that you have on your game of choice. So, Mr. Campbell, you have a scoreboard update, and you have wonderful music to accompany you.
That's right. Yeah, Ed Bird on the 1s and 2s playing the wonderful Magnum PI scoreboard theme song. We'll go ahead and get some scores that we got already. Daniel leads Chapman 7-0. Pickens up on Easley at 7-0 as well. We have some early fireworks going on in the Christchurch Hammond game. Hammond looks like they're up 21-7 on Christchurch. 2:56 remaining in the first quarter. First quarter, Spring Valley gets an 81-yard touchdown pass from Dylan Redden to Kellen Dimes from the Columbia Star Sports. The Vikings cut the Richland Northeast lead to 15-13. So Richland Northeast leading 15-13. Still 3:29 to go in the opening quarter there. Newberry 6, Union County 7. Still early in the first quarter. Chapin 16, Catawba Ridge nothing. 5:19 to go in the first quarter there. Lexington strikes first. They are up 7-0. 8-0 rather. They do get a 2-point conversion. Wildcats lead 8-0 against Gilbert in the first quarter. That's a revenge game from a really good game last season. Gray Collegiate and James Island. James Island running the opening kickoff back. They strike first, 7-0. James Island over against Gray Collegiate. Last that we have. Manning and Crestwood still scoreless. So is South Bluff versus South Aiken. Lower Richland, Lugoff, Elgin playing right now too. Don't have the score for that one right now, but we have South Florence, West Florence. That's a fun one tonight. No score on that one just yet. Irmo up on Oceanside Collegiate 7-0. A deep touchdown pass from A.J. Brand to start that game. Yellow Jackets are, to use Terry Ford's words, cooking early. Pendleton's up on Chesney 14-0. Williston Elko up on Pillion 7-0. They're still in the first quarter there, it looks like. Still scoreless with Saluda and Crescent. Strom Thurmond leading McCormick 13-0 to start the game. Belton Hanea Path 14. Broome 7. Underrated game of the night.
No question.
Broome, a top 10 team. Belton Hanea Path starting off number 1 in their classification. Things get pretty interesting there. Abbeville and Southside Christian still knotted at 0. Last word that we have. Swansea Mid Carolina. I think we have 2 Swansea games. I think I read the wrong Swansea score earlier. I can't read.
Jamboree.
That's right. It must have been. But we still have more scores. Chesterfield, 7. Johnsonville, nothing. Johnsonville and their brats struggling to get on the board to start this game. Marlborough County up on Lake Marion. That is 7-0. Philip Simmons and Hanahan still knotted up at 0. A bunch of scoreless games still across the state right now. And that, as of now, that is all we got. We're still slowly but surely gathering scores and keeping our tabs open everywhere else.
Want to remind you, too, that each week we're going to have a Honda of Columbia Drive of the Week. It used to be a play-on that we did, and I've decided to make it a thing every week. Last year, Gray Collegiate kind of took the cake for traveling the furthest.
They're the Cal Golden Bears of last season.
True. They might have something to do with no one wanting to play them in the state. Anyway, they did have to travel the furthest, and you're looking at who's going to have to travel the furthest distance and have a legitimate drive. So there's also a drive of the week, and then there's a longest drive of the week. The golf tournament was today.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
That is weaving back.
I see what you did there.
I'm going all the way back to 6 a.m. with Bill and Preston at this point. So yes, there will be a longest drive of the week, and early returns tell me that the Airport Eagles could be in for that because Airport had to travel down to May River, play that ball game. That's a long way away.
I was going to say, about how long of a haul is that?
I'm looking that up here shortly. But we do have another. I have another one here from my buddy Robbie, who hits me on the personal text line. Riverside up 13-0 on Malden early.
Ooh.
Malden trailing Riverside early 13-0. And if I can pull it back up, neither one of those teams are in the preseason top 10. But again, one of those swing games for a team like Riverside needing to get their bearings for this season. Good start for them, up 14-0 early on Malden. Malden's logo looks a lot like
Texas's.
And I've been through the town of Malden.
Never have.
Beautiful area. Up near the Greenville area. Greenville, Malden.
Am I mistaken there? Kevin Garnett, before transferring to a different, more of a prep school, Malden guy. Mm-hmm. The Fighting Kevin Garnett.
There's a lot of great talent that's come out of high schools in South Carolina, and no one wants to give credit for it. Like, legitimately. Like, really, really good players in all three sports, major sports. Like, very good.
Hey, Kevin Garnett and Jermaine O'Neal, those are early 2000s all-NBA caliber players, Eau Claire and Malden.
And here we are. Football as well. My high school had Deuce Staley back in the day.
They did. That's a good one. That's a good one to hang your hat on.
Back in the day, Super Bowl champion.
That's right.
Deuce Staley. Eagles and Steelers. So that's a look at the scoreboard early on. Again, we got a long way to go tonight. Plenty of scores to get throughout the night. But we do have a couple of different things to look at. You want to look at defensive players. There's some defensive players you might want to keep your eyes on. We talk a lot about offense. Who scores the most every week, who's hanging the most
Offense
points.
Is sexy. Big points, sexy. But sometimes, if White Knoll proved anything last year, keeping teams off the scoreboard will take you a long, long way.
A very long way. Onus Conanbani from Heathwood Hall. He left Europe for the United States a couple years back and played at Rabun Gap over in Georgia. But he's a defensive back, and he's ranked the number 4 prospect in South Carolina. And I believe he committed today to Tennessee.
He did, yep. Second straight year. Josh Heupel gets one of the top 5 players in the state.
Man, maybe something did come out that was good about 2022 when they were here. Josh Smith, Dutch Fork. 63 tackles last year, 20 for loss, 7 sacks, and 15 quarterback hurries. He is the number 24 ranked player in the state of 2025. He's committed to Coastal Carolina. Elgin Sessions, the DB who's committed to West Virginia, we talked about. 5'11", 175 DB. He's in the top 25 South Carolina.
Played a huge role in them winning that state title last year.
Certainly did. JoJo Krim from Camden, another DB. Ranked the number 22 player in 2025. He has several Power 4 offers and has visited 3 ACC schools. They are Duke, Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech. And he's recently picked up offers from 2 SEC schools, Vanderbilt and Mississippi State.
All right.
Sterling Sanders, a defensive lineman from Blythewood, is committed to Georgia Southern, 6'5", 295. That'll play well in the next level because they are going to really work that. Devin Geronimi, defensive back from White Knoll, had 56 tackles last year, 4.5 for loss. He's a corner.
Yeah. Good context there. Yes, he is a defensive back.
6 pass breakups, an interception, and 2 block kicks. He's going to Richmond. It's going to be a Spider.
Normally a really good basketball program. Football program getting better as of late.
Freddie Gillens, or Gillens, depends. Someone from Cardinal Newman can correct me on that. He's a defensive back as well. A lot of DBs. Good gracious. 27 tackles, 2 picks. He's committed to App State.
Love that program.
You know where they go in week 2?
Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Careful. And that's off of a tough game against Georgia.
There's nothing App State loves to do more than walk into your house, raid your fridge, eat all of your cookies,
still talking about that?
Wipe their shoes on your couch.
Were we still talking about Michigan in like 2000? What was that, 2007?
Yes, yeah, always will.
Actually, App State did come here and win.
I'm telling you, this place should know. Columbia, South Carolina should be very familiar with what that program will do to you if you do not take them seriously.
We're back to the offensive side of the ball, though. Trevon Williamson from Gilbert had 1,401 yards last year as a freshman and 20 touchdowns.
Woo.
He's a sophomore and starting to get looks from colleges.
Scary what he might look like in 2 years.
Good gracious. B.J. Montgomery, another good running back from Gray Collegiate. Manny Johnson from Hammond. Again, another name that I'm looking at that I remember reading when they were in 7th grade playing middle school football. He's committed to Davidson right now. Caleb Ford from Cardinal Newman. He was at Gray last year, had 485 yards and 13 touchdowns. And then Javon Edwards from Brooklyn Casey. Edwards is going to be a featured back at BC, by the way. He split time last year with a few other guys. So he is a featured back and is worth keeping your eye on. Top wide receivers, just a few of them. We mentioned Donovan Murphy is ranked as the 19th best receiver in the country. Pretty good. Plays right down the road. 24/7 has him ranked as the number 3 prospect in the state in 2026. He caught 57 passes last year for over 1,000 yards at 17 touchdowns. He's starting to get looks from a lot of different places. Jordan Gidron from Ridgeview. He had 8 games last year, and he caught 45 passes for 731 yards and 10 touchdowns in 8 games. And he won the 100 and 200-yard dash in the Class 4A track championships. He's the number 1 prospect in South Carolina for 2026 and the 7th best receiver in the country. So South Carolina as a state, y'all, and this is within the Midlands, this is like within 2 counties of 46, has the number 1 prospect in the state, the number 3 prospect in the state, the 7th best receiver in the country, and the 19th best receiver in the country.
Talent here, man. For a state that only has 6 million people, punches above its weight class. Yeah, punches above its... Oh, really? They're below 6?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, below 6. It feels like a lot more than that, but... Yeah.
Every now and then, especially, you hit some traffic jams and you feel like all 5.3 million are sitting there on the road with you right there.
Right there on I-26. Yeah. And then Mike Tyler, by the way, tight end, he's a 3-star prospect, but he's considered the 32nd best tight end in the country. And he's committed to LSU.
That Hammond team doing some numbers right now.
There's so much talent in this state. So much talent in this state.
For a state this small, man, I'm telling you, they punch above their weight class so well.
Pound for pound, let's go out to Eden's Stadium, Christchurch and Hammond. Cale is on the line. Go ahead, bud.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't begin to tell you how amazing of a game this has already become. It has been big plays ever since the opening kick as Jack Croft returned a 98-yard opening kickoff, and for Hammond. And it has been back and forth. Going into the second quarter, Hammond leads 21-14.
Ooh. Wow. An opening kickoff return for the touchdown. You didn't have to wait long to get your first score now, did you?
They did not.
Definitely not. It has been a fantastic game so far. And as I say that, Emmanuel Johnson picks up an amazing first down, making moves at the 45 in Christchurch. So there's your first quarter update for right now.
Appreciate it, Kale. Thank you, bud. Up against a break.
Stuff. Yeah,
That's back and forth. Fireworks going on over at Eden Stadium. I heard cheering in the background. I think I heard a few pads popping. It's football season.
Love those sounds.
More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show coming up on The Game.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
The Guttermen have been providing top-notch service throughout the Midlands for over 47 years, building their business on relationships, not gimmicks. And you can call them locally, not a 1-800 number. Call them today at 791-7147 and look for the guys in the powder blue trucks.
We keep the clutter out of your gutter. Call on the gutter man.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips here from my good friends at Integrated Media, Columbia's leader in today's technology for your home and business. They've got TVs from Sony and Samsung, surround sound systems from Dolby, Sonos wireless speakers, Wi-Fi that works everywhere, even cameras to see what's going on around your home. They've got you covered. Call Integrated Media at 803-948-8327. Set up a time for them to come out to your house and talk with you about your wants and your needs. You want to cut the cord? They can help. Want one of those beautiful Samsung frame TVs that looks like art when it's not turned on? They do that too. Plus fantastic outdoor systems that let you enjoy your favorite team, movie, TV show, or music while you also enjoy our beautiful South Carolina weather. You can even stop in and see them at the Experience Center, 105 Snapdragon Court and Chapin, and get a real idea of what these things look like in your home. Do what I've done, and many of your friends and neighbors. Call 803-948-8327 and get home theater like never before from Integrated Media. Hey guys, it's Jay Phillips for the Men's Clinic. Too often guys won't go to the doctor when they're feeling off, whether it's because they think they can tough it out or because they just don't want to talk about it. Don't be that guy. Get to feeling better after you see Dr. Dan Balknight and his team at the Men's Clinic. They are experts in health care for men and dedicated to making you feel like yourself again. You can schedule a free consultation by calling 803-875-MENS and learn more online at themensclinicsc.com.
Do you want to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Make It Rain Irrigation and Landscapes. Specializing in all aspects of landscape construction, enhancements, and outdoor entertainment, they offer a wide range of services to make your outdoor dreams a reality. From outdoor lighting for homes and businesses to hardscape design and build, including outdoor kitchens, water features, stonework, and more. No rain, no pain. Call Make It Rain Irrigation and Landscapes today at 803-673-6337 or online at makeitrain803sc.com.
Bill Gunner here for Ecton Law Firm. I tell you, if you've been having tax troubles, they're bothering you, they're weighing you down, you don't need to let that happen any longer. Let the stress of taxes be taken care of by the Ecton Law Firm. Set up a free consultation today, 803-771-9800. They have a local team dedicated to resolving your income or business tax issues for good. At the Ecton Law Firm, they understand the challenges you or your business could face. That's why John Ecton and his team are ready to offer you the peace of mind that you deserve. With proven local solutions, they've helped thousands of families and businesses just like yours escape the IRS maze. So take the first steps to a worry-free life today by contacting the Ecton Law Firm, 803-771-9800, or visit EctonLawFirm.com. That's ECTON lawfirm.com, the John Ecton Law Firm.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back in. It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show right here on The Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird with you until 11 tonight as we go through week 0 of the high school football season. And we've covered a lot of the players here. So, again, we'll be monitoring those teams and those players throughout the year. I have finally ascertained
MVP.
The correct channel. I told Elijah during the break, some folks are here every day. I'm here after like a 9-month hiatus, so it takes me a second to get my sea legs back under me. And since the last time I was here, I've gotten a lot's happened. So I had to remember the number of the channel. But we got it. Lexington leads Gilbert 8-0 over at the new Wildcat Hollow. And that game, of course, a rivalry game. Saluda leads Crescent 20-0. And Williston Elko up on Pillion 7-0. And Chapin up on Catawba Ridge 16-8. It's your early look.
I have a feeling we're going for 2 a lot. Lexington went for 2 after their touchdown. We have an 8-pointer for Catawba Ridge. So, I mean, going for 2 there. I like it.
Let's see. Yeah, 16-8, 2-point conversions, a lot of QB sneaks, just some wild stuff. 10-16 left to go in that ballgame, by the way. Woodruff leads Clinton 14-7. Pendleton over Chesney.
That one a little surprising.
20-0. Strom Thurman. The Rebels up on the Chiefs of McCormick, 27-0.
They're strong, Thurman, tonight.
Well done. BHP 28, Broome 7.
Wow. So BHP starting to have a little bit of separation. That was one, in terms of all of the headlining matchups that we had tonight, I felt like that was one of the more underrated ones because you have 2 top 10 teams in different classifications. And while, yeah, BHP would be, I would say, a reasonable favorite because they're number 1 in that classification. This is still a really good early season test, and they're causing some separation as Lexington scores another touchdown.
There it is. So it's 14-0, and let's see if they go for 2. Those are some snazzy helmets.
They have great jerseys, man.
I like them, but they're snazzy.
They are snazzy. I can dig them. Oh, that was on a double or not? Yeah, reverse pass.
Oh yes,
handoff, reverse pass. Beautiful. A little bit of trickeration here in week 0.
And Dustin Curtis's crew pulling it out early.
That's what I'm talking about.
Abbeville is the number 1 team in Class A. They are playing a team in 3A in Southside Christian who is receiving votes. Abbeville leads that one 14-7 right now. And again, I'm looking for a few more here.
After one quarter, JL Mann's up 14-0 on Midland Valley.
Ooh.
At Midland Valley. That's a little bit, I know JL Mann's a different 5A, but I say out of my time covering high school in different states, this state, in South Carolina specifically, is there more parity between classifications. You know, in my time in Tennessee, if a top 10, say the number 10 5A team in the state would play the number 1 4A team, that number 10 5A team is probably winning by a couple scores.
Sure. I'll agree with that, but not here.
Not here. No,
we don't do that thing
There's
here.
good interclassification parity in this state. That's one of my favorite things about it. One of my favorite, I guess, observations I've been able to make since being in this market, being in this state, is that you can have great matchups from 3A to 5A, and you can interchange the classifications, which is why one of the reasons why I guess a multiplier system works in a state like this. Now, the logistics can be really tough, and figuring out a fair way, because fair is very objective, can be really tricky. But the fact that you can do something like this in this state and not completely jack up, at least my hypothesis is it won't jack up competitiveness that you have in the parity in these certain classifications, speaks volumes to exactly how much above weight classes these smaller schools can punch.
Exactly. By the way, we haven't gotten into this. I'm going to wait because I got to talk about the classification thing that is just really weird. But I want to go back to Jordan Gidron real quick. And again, full disclosure, I'm not a recruiting nerd. I never have been.
I rely on the recruiting nerds a lot for my occupation.
I rely on Wes and Chris for that.
Yes.
Go be my recruiting nerd.
Yes.
And then come tell me what I need to know. I'm looking at On3 right now, and I'm looking at Jordan Gidron's page, and I'm assuming this means he has offers from all of these schools. By the way, according to On3, he is certified elite.
Hey,
they've got him as a DB. They got him as DB, by the way. It's weird. But he is a wide receiver, 6'2", 185. He's got a 92.75 ranking. Like 100's, I think, the highest, I would imagine.
I would have a hard time imagining breaking 100 on that scale.
These are the following schools that they have listed for him. I don't know if he's gotten offers from all of them, so let's just put that out there. Stanford, Oklahoma, Boston College, Arkansas, LSU, Notre Dame, Illinois, Miami, Indiana, Cincinnati, West Virginia, Florida, Liberty, VTech, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, Duke, North Carolina, Georgia, Coastal, App State, Citadel, Charlotte. Now we're getting into teams that have a greater than 1% chance of landing him. Ole Miss, 5.4. NC State, 5.4.
Okay.
Alabama, 10.4.
Alabama, I've heard of Alabama.
Florida State, 12.5.
Heard of them.
That's about how many wins they had last year and then got left out of the playoff. Boom. Bam. Auburn, 14.5.
Right,
there's Hugh Freeze lurking, and the team right now most likely to land one of the best wide receivers in the country, South Carolina, at 40.4. Means nothing hasn't committed yet, and anything can happen in recruiting. But
I'm here to pump up hope, baby.
That's South Carolina's in on two of the best players in the state offensively.
Gotta make you feel good.
Gotta make you
feel good.
I'm just reading the numbers. I just read what they tell me, right? Now, as we look at scores from across the state, and we're continuing to monitor these to make sure we get everything we can for you, I do have to go back and mention the idea of Class 5A. Now, when I was growing up, we had 5 classifications.
Back in your day.
Back in my day. It's within the last decade. And you had those 5. And once you reached the playoffs, you played in the playoffs against those other teams in that classification. And you won that championship. And only one team could win a championship in each classification. But this year, we have a lot of teams in 5A. And so the teams agreed to this, by the way. Like, that's how it had to go. The schools had to agree to this. Class 5A is now split into 2 big and little, basically. Big and little 5A. So in Class 5A this year, we will have 2 state champions. Wouldn't it make sense then to have those 2 play each other? No, we're just going to have the 2.
Especially considering when you're not splitting them off evenly.
No, you're not.
By any means. Which makes no sense. It makes 0 sense to me.
No, you're not. By the way, Irmo leads Oceanside Collegiate 20-0.
I'm telling you, that Irmo team is explosive. I saw a video of the first touchdown pass, and I couldn't see who it was to from the video, but the way AJ Brand hits passes down the sideline with incredible accuracy and with how mobile he is, I am incredibly high on this Irmo team. That's a team that I would not be shocked if they win that loaded region.
And again, you've got them as most likely as best option to go undefeated, even in that kind of region. If you're at a game, by the way, it's 8:30, so we're nearing halftime in a lot of games around the state. Taking that from experience of listening to games on my way in when we would start this thing at 9.
Yes.
I know you're hitting halftime in most games that are being well played, unless it's on TV, in which case you got 10 minutes left to go in the second quarter. So there are instances where this is different. The Carolina Bobcats out of Lake City lead the Faith Christian Knights 12-0. The Vikings of Latta have traveled to Lake Waccamaw, North Carolina, to take on the East Columbus Gators.
Wow.
And they lead the Gators 28-6.
Wow, coming away pretty strong. That's a long way to travel for a butt whooping.
Long way to travel.
To deliver a butt whooping, I should say.
But if you get a win,
they're not getting it kicked. They're doing the kicking.
They're doing the kicking.
Yes.
And then Waccamaw leads Carvers Bay 21-0.
Fun score we're getting right here too. In Columbia, Keenan up on Dreer 26-8.
Ooh.
The Fighting Alex Englishes are taking it to the chin right now.
Yeah.
10:22 to go in the second quarter. Keenan firing on all cylinders. A team that not inside the top 10 of their classification, but did receive votes. Yeah, I mean, this is a win that would get you in the top 10.
Let's go out to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. Dan wants to talk about that 5A championship situation. Go ahead, Dan.
Hey, good evening. Sounds like it was a great start to the high school season, especially for Irmo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, you guys mentioned the 2 champions of 5A this year because they've got so many teams.
Yep.
You guys may be too young to remember, but when a lot less high schools, but there was a split in 4A, and they called the biggest division the Big 16. And so there were 16 schools based on their, enrollment that fought it out for a state championship, and then the rest of 4A, fought it out for the other part of 4A schools. Of course, back then, resources and all those things played a factor because the Big 16 schools were, they had better resources, which meant they probably put a lot of smackdowns on the lower division 4A schools. That may not be as much of a difference in this day and age, but I would imagine filling out a playoff with as many schools as they have, they might have just found it simpler at this point to, do the two divisions, and hopefully they'll look at realigning it, in the future after they get a look at all of these schools that are competing and see if there could be a way for all the schools to compete for one 5A championship as opposed to splitting it. But it's kind of, I would imagine it's probably just falling back to the historical Big 16 versus the remainder of 4A schools.
I would imagine
made it simpler to do it this year.
Yeah. I would imagine the same thing, Dan, and thank you. Appreciate it. We're up against it. I would agree with that. And again, I'm not totally opposed to it. I'm just a man of very simple logic, but I get the historical precedent. And if there's one thing that folks in South Carolina hold to, it's historical precedent. More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show coming up on The Game.
Wade wants to know, what would you do if you could confidently face every day knowing you and your loved ones are protected? Would you sing along to your favorite song at the top of your lungs? Turn off the GPS and let your heart do the guiding. Go to the drive-thru and order one of everything. Feel the buzz of confidence of knowing you are protected with 65 years of insect science in your hands. Raid. Protection for everyone.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips and Grayson Griner here for our friends at Integrated Media. Grayson, now that you and the family have settled into life after years in the bigs, I hear you've added to what Integrated Media had already done around the house. Tell us what makes your system so much fun to use.
Yeah, Jay, Integrated Media has taken care of us from day one. Everything they do looks fantastic, everything they do sounds fantastic, and everything runs seamlessly when it comes to our smart home. In today's day and age of streaming everything, having a strong Wi-Fi connection throughout the house is critical, and Integrated Media is the best in the business at setting you and your family up with everything you could ever need.
Now, I don't know about you, but having an outdoor system that looks and sounds like the indoors is better than I could have imagined.
Yeah, one of the perks of living in the Midlands of South Carolina is enjoying time outdoors virtually year-round. From weatherproof mounted televisions to outdoor speaker systems, Integrated Media is the standard when it comes to outdoor entertainment. They're the only people I would ever recommend when it comes to outfitting your smart home indoors or out.
Work with the best in the business, and that's our friends at Integrated Media. Grayson and I can't recommend them highly enough. See their work on Facebook and Instagram, then call them up at 803-948-8327 and get Integrated Media into your home today.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show, 107.5 The Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird, Master Control. We have our first comeback of the year.
Absolute stunner.
It is wild. And let me make sure, because I'm operating on the platform the artist formerly known as Twitter.
It's still Twitter to me.
The Northwestern Trojans were hosting the Huff football team from North Carolina. You might remember the Huff Huskies. They beat Dutch Fork last year.
At Dutch Fork.
So they go to Northwestern. And Northwestern, I believe, has made the jump to 5A. I could be wrong.
They have. They received a vote.
A vote to be the number one team. That's right. Yep. They're the number 4 team in Class 5A. So one of the best in the state, going up against one of the best in North Carolina. Northwestern trailed 44-24 in the fourth quarter. Now, I'm a simple man, but I can do that math. That's 20. That means you got to score 3 touchdowns and kick 3 extra points to win the ball game. You got 12 minutes to do it, and the other team's already hung 44 on you. Well, they did that. Northwestern 45, Huff 44.
Unbelievable.
And I got to thank Chris Miller, who does a lot with Northwestern up there, and you know, he's also doing a network host for Gamecock football. So there you go.
Busy man.
Busy guy, especially in the fall. And I'm assuming outside of the fall as well. So that courtesy of Chris Miller on the Twitters. A big comeback for Northwestern. Again, making the jump from 4 to 5. And wow, what a comeback for those guys. Dreher, or as we say in these here parts, Drea, trims the deficit 26-16 now.
Okay.
Between those two Richland School District 1 schools.
Can we get multiple comebacks on that?
I'm hoping for it. I'm really hoping for it. By the way, yes, a couple things you'll come to realize after listening to this show for years as a child. That's right, as a child. As a young pupil.
As a youngin'.
As a youngin'.
As we'd say in these parts.
And then doing this show for the last 20, 21, 22, 23, 4 years. This is my fifth with Tommy. You learn the history of it, you know? And Dreher is one of those, because if you're in the area and you've been in the area since like the 50s or 60s, you call that Dreher. That's how it's pronounced. I don't know how to spell it. Don't ask. But yes. Porter Gauld leads First Baptist 28-14. That's a Skeeza score for you. And I'm efforting, as they say in the business.
Industry term. Yeah.
Industry term. Efforting more scores here. If you have a score, if you want to let us know what's going on, 803-404-6100 is how you can hit us on the Love Chevy phone lines. By the way, T. Ohana up 6-0 on Burns right now. We'll get into the Burns situation here in just a second. Roger joins us on the Love Chevy phone lines. Go ahead, Roger.
Halftime score, Wilson Hall 17, Orangeburg Prep 7.
Wilson Hall up on Orangeburg Prep 17-7 at the half.
Correct.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate it. Or Roger,
Thank
sorry.
you, Roger.
Thank you, Roger. Roger contends for our first call of the night, but he's behind because Cale has called twice, and Gamecock Larry got in as well, and Dan's been in. So
Roger's got to knock the cobwebs off, man.
A little rusty, but don't worry. He's got us. I promise you.
It's not even week 1 yet, so Roger, I think he's got time.
He's ready to go. There is no doubt about it. He's going to get fired up here, and he'll be back in this thing, and you won't be able to pull away from him for very long. So, and I also want to mention this, because this is our maiden voyage of the season, and at some point tonight, we will mention that there is football on tomorrow. And yes, it is Delaware State and Hawaii.
40.5 point spread, Hawaii.
They made the flight and they landed, so Delaware State is there. But there is actually, I think, going to be a good game tomorrow between Georgia Tech and Florida State.
Don't sleep on the Jackets.
And I'm telling you, the Jackets might cover.
Don't sleep on the Jackets. I will be in the state of Tennessee. I'll be visiting my dad and seeing one of my best friends for his birthday.
There you go.
So I will be in a state in which I might be able to lay a little something on that game. And you know what? In the spirit of it, I am really leaning towards taking the Jackets in 10.5.
It's
I think
intriguing.
They can surprise a lot of people.
It's intriguing. Another intriguing game is going on between Boiling Springs and Greer. Again, Greer or Grr. Boiling Springs leads 29-0 in that ball game. Chester leads Lancaster 12-8. And by the way, I just have to mention this. Chris Trainer from the State Newspaper tweeted this earlier. I didn't see it until just now. Well, another year has passed by, and I see we have allowed the awful designation of Week 0 to continue to apply to the first week of high school football in South Carolina.
You're right, sir. It sucks.
There are more people still on this than I thought. I thought I was kind of lone wolfing it at this point.
There's
after
more
all
of us
these
than
years.
them.
So, and maybe I'm back on. I don't know. I can be swayed. Into the first half, over at Crescent, and Saluda leads Crescent 20-0. That one at the half. Not only do we look for good scores, we also look for good names on the scoreboard. We just missed it. So I've got two scores back-to-back here. It hasn't updated the game between Greenville Homeschool and Thomas Jefferson Classical. the Griffins, spelled Gryphons, from Mooresboro, North Carolina.
God, why?
I don't know.
That's my only question. I'm not asking for much. I just like to know why.
Griffins, maybe? I'm going with Griffins. Because it looks like a griffin. But that would have been a great one if it was the Thomas Jefferson Classical Griffins versus the Jefferson Davis Raiders. That's what you call an all-name game. So we're looking for those.
I love an all-name game.
We're looking for those throughout the year. Dillon Christian leads Florence Christian at last check 6-0. Carolina over Faith Christian 12-0. Latta over East Columbus 28-6. Again, these might be a bit outdated. How about this? Apologies to the Phillips clan. The Loris Lions leading Green Sea Floyds 44-0 in the second quarter. Whew. Dillon leading Scotland. They're playing in Ireland tomorrow, but they're playing Scotland tonight.
That's right, my native land.
The Scotland Fighting Scots from Laurinburg, North Carolina. Can you point to that on a map? Pull out the map and find that one. Dillon leading 14-0. Marlboro County over Lake Marion 7-0. Bamberg Earhart over Edisto 13-0. 13-0 over with North Central over Great Falls as well. The McBee Fighting Rick Henrys, also known as the McBee Panthers, lead Sherall at the half 8-6.
Oh my God, that might be the best score tonight.
8-6.
You get some just real some doozies of scores in the first week of high school football action. That might be the most high school football scores you will hear tonight.
Well, here's the thing, and we talked about this before, and Ed Bird can illuminate this from beyond the glass. You have different types of football in this state. You have the coast and the low country. You have the coast, which has a lot of high-scoring ball. I think it's the humidity from the ocean. But then you have the low country, which is Beaufort up to about Orangeburg, where it's a little bit more sticky and it's just lower scoring. The Midlands has a very nice cross-section, and the upstate just punches each other in the face. Like they're
Big Ten football, if you will.
Black and blue punching people in the face. But at the same point, T.L. Hanna will go hang 70 on somebody. Let's go back out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Roger joins us again. He call number 2. Roger, go ahead.
Bamberg Earhart 21, Edisto Nut, second quarter.
21-0 over Edisto, second quarter. Thank you, Roger. Appreciate that one. Got an update from Catawba Ridge. Chapin leading Catawba Ridge 23-15. Still 3:27 left to go in the half. Thank you to Mark on the Twitters for getting us that score. And Ridgeview leads Fairfield Central. Fairfield Central are the Griffins, spelled properly.
Yes.
It's 21-6.
No confusion on what Fairfield Central is.
21-6 Ridgeview at the half. And looking for a few more scores here if we can get them teed up. T.O. Hanna leads Burns 6-0. Now, Burns High School, home of Marcus Lattimore.
The Fighting Marcus Lattimores, yes.
Everyone knows Burns, right? Burns is having some work done to their stadium. I would say probably going to look better than Vanderbilt's, but they're getting some work done to their stadium.
But the bar is on the ground.
But because they're getting work done to their stadium, they cannot play at their stadium at all. Which means that starting here in week 0, week 1, they will play on the road every single week. Every week. No neutral site. Now, they will be the designated home team, which means nothing.
It means absolutely nothing.
If it were baseball, it would mean something because they would get to bat last.
Or hockey, you get the last line change.
But it means nothing. I'll trust your judgment on that one. It means nothing in football. I can guarantee you that means nothing if you don't have a 12th man. And even if you do have a 12th man, you might not finish better than 8-4 A&M. So Burns...
Subtle shade.
So Burns is on the road all season long. And by the way, week 0 finds them playing T.O. Hanna on the road at Hanna, the home of radio.
That's right. Also another great high school football movie.
Oh, great one. I think that's my premier high school movie. And in fact, quick aside, remember, if you're under the age of maybe us, you probably have no clue what I'm saying. There used to be a thing called VHS tapes. Hey, you're thinking, you might be too young for DVDs at this point, right? You're like, what's a commercial? Why can I not just stream it? But you used to be able to pop the VHS into the VHS player and hit record. And you could record whatever was playing on TV onto the VHS, and then you would take the little label and you'd write what it was, and then you'd pop the tab out on the VHS. That way you couldn't tape over it. That's how I watched the 2006 South Carolina Clemson game like 15,000 times. Anyway, I did that for the movie Radio.
Oh, yeah.
I could have just gone and bought the all right, we could have just bought the VHS tape, right? No. I wanted to fast forward through the commercials every single time. And I've always followed T.L. Hanna because of that. It's a wonderful story, a heartwarming story, and a story that you can only find in high school football, and that's why we love it. More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show coming up on the game.
Hey, Columbia, Scott here with Traditions Fine Jewelers, telling you about the diamond buying difference when you purchase a diamond from us. No matter if you're looking at mined diamonds or lab-grown diamonds, at Traditions Fine Jewelers, we have a huge selection of both, and which you choose is up to you, but either way, you always get trade-in value of the diamond solitaire you purchase. When you spend over $1,500, you'll get a limited lifetime warranty when you get your ring checked every 6 months. Traditions has an in-house jeweler with over 30 years experience to take care of your every need. Ring sizing, stone setting, or if you just want to come by and get your ring cleaned. At Traditions Fine Jewelers, we have hundreds of mountings to see, touch, and feel, and to try on, or we can special order or custom create the perfect engagement ring for you. Traditions Fine Jewelers, 5134 Sunset in Lexington, or in the Village at Sand Hills. Traditions Fine Jewelers, where the Midlands get engaged.
Nothing slows down a job like not having the right equipment. Maybe your favorite zero-turn or push mower is getting repaired right now, or maybe you want to take advantage of some dry weather to finally aerate or dethatch your lawn, or maybe you just want a great excuse to mow with our super cool Gravely EV. Either way, come to Cato's, where we have a ton of new rental equipment available for daily, weekly, and monthly rentals. Cato's Power Equipment is here to bring you solutions to keep your yard or your customer's yard looking their best. Give us a call at 803-254-3711.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. Right here on the game, Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird with you. Week 1 of the South Carolina high school football season. Some people on some programs that are of a national footprint would say there is no offseason. I'm telling you there is no week 0. It is week 1.
It's the first
Just
week.
saying.
You cannot have a 0th week.
It doesn't work.
That's not how numbers work.
It's
not.
It's the first
It's absolutely not. We can't bend the laws of mathematics to fit our agendas.
If you have a series of apples, let's just say you have 10 apples, and you're going to eat 10 apples. You're going to eat 1 apple a week. The first apple you eat, is that the 0 apple? Nope. It's the first one. Number 1.
But Elijah and Justin, not everybody's eating that apple.
No,
not everybody's playing in week 0. Well, yeah, not everybody's playing every week of the season anyway because bye weeks exist.
That's true. Some people have 2.
Exactly.
College football has 2 now.
Yep, that's right. So do 2 of them.
My brain didn't compute that until June. Because, bye weeks, that's when you do all your stuff, right? That's
family obligations.
Right. You're like, can you please, if you're going to do the wedding, do it on a bye?
Yes.
The last fall wedding I went to was on the day of the Carolina-Tennessee game 2 years ago. You remember that one? You remember that one? It's fine. I got in the car. I didn't even turn it on because it was a wedding full of Tennessee people, but weird, in Georgia.
Ironically enough.
But I turned it on in the car, and I'm like, wait, 14-7 South Carolina?
Oh, so you didn't even get the best part? Yeah, okay. So you got it nice and toasty as things were warming up.
I got in good, right? So it was fine. I do have one in week 3 of the season this year. Clemson's on a bye. They're Clemson fans. Carolina plays LSU at noon, so we should be fine. Plenty of time to be able to leave in time to get to the venue. We should be fine. I'm not hardcore on the no fall weddings thing. I think you should just do. You're an American. Do whatever you want to do, right? You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, and the people who want to be there will be there, and people who don't won't. Period. I had mine in June.
Hopefully your friends only get married once. Your friends and family members only get once.
Right.
Get married once.
That's the goal.
So that, I'm not missing out. Even if it's in a fall Saturday.
Right. Right.
I have a cell phone where I could watch any game I want to, anywhere, at any time.
We are in the 21st century.
Yes.
It's amazing how that can happen. And by the way, that was happening that day because Georgia was playing Kentucky and Clemson had a game against Miami, I think. As that was happening. By the way, Lexington just did something I don't see often in high school football. They kicked a field goal.
They did. Drilled it.
And they lead 17-0. And the cheerleaders then run the flags around the field that spell out LHS for Lexington High School. And the American flag is the lead flag. So that's pretty cool. That's good stuff.
A lot of flags.
Gilbert struggling early. It's a tough matchup for him to jump up a classification for sure. So tough start for Gilbert here in 2024. But
Lexington's got revenge on the mind too, man. That loss last year hurt Lexington big time, and that game meant a lot to Gilbert. And that was a 14-3 rock fight. Mm-hmm. That was one of the highlights of the season, of a very good Gilbert season. And this is one I know for the entire summer Coach Curtis had those boys thinking about. They didn't forget what happened last year. And the fact that they got to have that week 1 and have revenge on the mind with a little bit of continuity that Gilbert didn't get to have because of the coach leaving. New quarterback, too. Drake Braddock graduated. So there's a little more change. You're right. It's a tough spot for Gilbert to come into. I think Lexington's getting him at a right time, and I think a lot of what happened last year is going to bleed over into the motivational factor of Lexington trying to get at him a little harder this year.
Let's go back to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. We're talking sharing stadiums with Wooly. Go ahead. What you got?
Yeah, man. This is Wooly. I live in Gilbert, but I went to Lexington, and I remember back in the 80s when Gilbert and Lexington shared the same stadium, and the stadium wasn't even at Lexington High School. It was
right down the road. Yep.
Yep.
Interesting.
There's some trickiness to that too, Willie, because not only that, but Lexington and Gilbert, the last name Woolbright means something to both fan bases. It's an interesting setup with Gilbert and Lexington, and there's chippiness on the field right now, which tells me it's a bona fide South Carolina high school rivalry.
Let's go.
There's no question. Wooly, thank you for the call. We appreciate it. Go Indians from Wooly, and Gilbert America is going to be rocking here if they can mount a comeback. Let's stay on the left shade phone lines. Go to Roger next. Roger, what you got?
Yeah, I got two game score. Del Mar 20, White Saturday 13. Just went in halftime 2 minutes ago. And Hancock Tyler, my alma mater, Hancock Tyler Nieces 30. Alabama Fairfax nothing halftime.
HKT pouring it on Nieces.
Good start. Yeah, good start for the Fighting Rogers.
That's true. The Fighting Rogers.
That?
That's true. Chapin, score update for you. Chapin leads Catawba Ridge 26-15. Robbie hits me on the personal text line. Riverside leading at the half 27-0. Oh, excuse me. 27-13. I love that iPhones allow you to edit a text now. 27-13. I watched it change.
For this purpose specifically. Because in real life, when you say words, you can't have take-backsies. When you say it, you say it. But now Tim, we can edit a little bit.
Appreciate you, Tim Apple, for making sure you did that reference there. 27-13, Riverside over Malden. Walhalla leads Landrum 14-7. Burns is playing on the road for one of 11 times this year, 10, whatever it is. They're playing without their running back, Trey Segara, and their quarterback, Zy Landrum, is in and out.
Ooh.
They're only down 6-0 to Hannah at the half.
All things considered.
And Woodruff leads Clennon 27-14 at the half. So Clennon, the Red Devils, trailing in that one at the break. And then, my gosh, this first half is insane over at Hammond. 35-20, Hammond over Christchurch.
Hope you took the over, Justin.
Golly.
I hope you took that over.
If you're taking overs or unders on high school football, get some help.
Actually, if you do that, A, if they exist. B, if you take it, the hotline I hear calls you. The gambling hotline calls you. You don't call the hotline.
True.
They seek you out.
True. They do. Darlington is in a situation where they're kicking onside kicks, and unlike the NFL, you don't have to tell people in high school football.
Long lost art.
Blythewood leads Nation Ford 10-0. That'd be a big win for Blythewood. If I go back and look.
That would, yeah.
I mean, that's not
after a disappointing year last year.
Right. Just a bit of a disappointing year, but that's a good win for the Bengals. If they can hold on, again, it's still second quarter, probably at halftime now, but 10-0, the lead there for Blythewood over Nation Ford. Loris leads. Good gracious. Loris, 58. Green Sea Floyd's 0. 1:59 to go in the second quarter.
Heavens.
Well, y'all want to go out and play the second half, or y'all just going to call it?
Running clock.
One of the greatest, two of the greatest words in the history of high school sports is running clock.
The running clock. I have some bad news for you, unfortunately, Justin, regarding your Airport Eagles.
Oh, thank you. I haven't seen that score yet.
Halftime, May Rivers up 21-7.
Okay.
You're not out of it. Okay. But you never want to be down two touchdowns.
Airport's without their best wide receiver.
And that doesn't help.
With an injury for a while. So
it does not help. Getting used to life without him it won't be easy, but May River early
that's
lead.
Unfortunate. Another big score for you here. South Point leads Spartanburg 13-9. South Point, the number 4 team in Class 4A, Spartanburg receiving votes in Class A. They trail there at the half. South Point, the Stallions over the Vikings of Spartanburg. Good ball game. Good ball game going on there. No question about it. Aaron Judge hit another home run. There's your separate sports. There's your separate sports note. And Columbia leads C.A. Johnson 22-0. They're starting the second half. We'll start our number, 3 now coming up of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show right here on The Game.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit. 800-613-5454. 800-613-5454. 800-613-5454.
Looking for top-notch care for your furry friends? Come to locally owned and operated Gardner's Ferry Animal Hospital of Columbia. Their compassionate team offers a full range of services, from wellness exams and vaccinations to advanced surgical procedures. With state-of-the-art facilities and a warm, welcoming environment, your pets will feel right at home. From sporting dogs to the latest designer breeds, at Gardner's Ferry Animal Hospital, you can trust they will keep your pets happy and healthy. Call 803-776-4550 or visit GardnersFerryAnimalHospital.com.
Autumn is almost here. They're getting ready for the change of the season at Dan's Fan City in Harbison. They're celebrating with amazing deals on floor samples, closeouts, and overstocks. Whether you're looking to upgrade your ceiling fans or add a new one to your space, Dan's Fan City has you covered. Stop by their store or give them a call at 781-FANS to take advantage of these fantastic offers. Don't miss out on the chance to save big and elevate your home's comfort and style with Dan's Fan City on Harbison Boulevard. Hey guys, it's Jay Phillips for AAA Heating and Air. You know, for many years, AAA has been your year-round ally against changing weather across the Midlands, whether it's the hot summers or those cool winters. Let their expert team make sure that your home is always an oasis of comfort. And now, Roy and Dana Finley have a spectacular offer to make it even better for you and your family for years to come. How about 12 months, no payments or interest in 2024, plus guaranteed financing, a $1,500 system buyback rebate, and their 15-year parts and labor guarantee that speaks volumes of the trust in their service and in their products. AAA has done things at my house that make my family nice and comfortable all year long. They can do it for you too. Get a free quote today. Call AAAtoday.com. That's call AAAtoday.com or give them a shout at 803-677-1500. Tell them Jay Phillips sent you to AAA Heating and Air.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips here for Integrated Media. You know they've been the Midland's leader in home theater for the past 2 decades. From installation of amazing 4K televisions and surround sound systems to Wi-Fi that works everywhere, no one else compares to their customer service and quality. And now the guys at Integrated Media have expanded their brand to provide a state-of-the-art golf simulator experience next to their offices in Chapin. Pro Swing is what it's called. The golf simulators by Golf Zone have automatic tees. You don't have to bend over to set up your next shot. Amazing swing plate moving up to 24 different directions for a truly lifelike experience. The playing surface has simulated greenside and fairway bunkers, even 2 different cuts of rough to bring a real-life experience inside with 68 degrees of air conditioning every day. One golfer can play 18 holes in about an hour, 2 in 2. With selections of non-alcoholic drinks, domestic, and craft beer, it's fun for the entire family. To book a tee time or to get golf lesson packages, visit ProSwingColumbia.com or call 803-948-8327. Have a blast with Pro Swing and Integrated Media.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
Congrats to the Gamecocks women on another national championship.
A Cumulus media station. It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
On 107.5. The Game.
Welcome back in. Hour number 3 of the program. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird with you. It is 9 p.m. on the East Coast. And if you're listening on the West Coast, it's 6 where you are. I don't know. Maybe I got family out there. Maybe they're listening.
Yeah, one of my best friends lives out in Arizona.
They are.
Manages a craft brewery out in Arizona. Nice. So he might be tuned in. He knows how to find us.
Could be. And, of course, if you're on the West Coast, the East Coast, the Midwest, maybe you're across the pond getting ready for a game in Ireland between Florida State and Georgia Tech.
They could have just played in the States. I mean, they're not too far away from each other.
You didn't want to play at Atlanta? You didn't want to drive down to Tallahassee? No, got to do it in Ireland. Okay, fine. If you're listening there, maybe you're in Dublin, maybe you're at a pub. And actually, you should probably be in bed. But if you're in Ireland, you're probably at a pub. Anyway, you can catch us on the
Regardless
app.
of time.
Yeah, the 107.5 The Game app, or you can watch the show on YouTube, on the Game TV. You can watch it right there. I'm looking at the camera right now. Look at that. There you are. First time we've done that for this show, and it's exciting. A.J. Brand included in his TD passes of 76 and 22 yards, also mixed in a 21-yard touchdown run in which he pulled a Hunter Renfro from 21 yards out. If you know if you catch that reference. If you know, If you know, you know. They're really good. Irmo's really good. Like Oceanside's good. Irmo's really good.
But we're about halftime for most of these games, which means I think it's time for another scoreboard update. Oh, yeah. Oh, cue that music in. I am alive right now. We're going to start with one of the first finals we got of the season. Northwestern, once down 20 points in the fourth quarter, pulls off the 45-44 thriller win over Huff in North Carolina. They're our first entrant into the undefeated club. Irmo up on Oceanside Collegiate, like we covered, 21-7. A.J. Brand doing A.J. Brand stuff. Lexington up at halftime against Gilbert, 17-0. Gilbert struggling on offense. River Bluff up on Rock Hill, 15-7. Ridgeview up at halftime on Fairfield Central, 21-6. J.L. Mann, last time we saw, 14-0 on Midland Valley. Hammond and Christchurch, a lot of points and a lot of points. I have 21-14 right here. What was the latest that you had?
They're at halftime, but Kale's on the line. Do you want to take a break and get to Kale?
We'll run through these first. Then we'll get to Kale. So we will have a cliffhanger for this one right now. That's how you do it in this industry. Richland Northeast on Spring Valley, 29-13. Will Wilson, if you don't follow Columbia Sports Star on Twitter, you should, because they posted a video of him throwing an absolute dart for a touchdown for RNE in that game. Lower Richland up on Lugoff Elgin, 28-21. Wilson Hall up on Orangeburg Prep, 17-7. Boiling Springs up on Greer, 29-0. Goose Egg for Greer right now. Not a great start. Chester up on Lancaster, 12-8. Hilton Head Prep defeats St. Andrews, 19-13. That's one of our few finals. At halftime, the Fighting Justin Halls of Airport trailing May River, 21-7. Newberry up on Union, 26-0. Jefferson Davis up on Cross Schools, 54-0. Dillon Christian up on Florence Christian, 6-0. A holy war right there. Carolina up on Faith Christian, 12-0. Latta up on East Columbus and Lake Waccamaw, North Carolina, 28-6. Heathwood Hall trails Hannah Pamplico, 14-0. Hunter Kynard Tyler up 30-0 on Allendale Fairfax. Great showing so far for the Fighting Rogers. Carvers Bay trailing Waccamaw, 27-0. That's in the second quarter. Loris up 44-0 on Green Sea Floyds. Please show some mercy. Dillon up on Scotland. No, that's not Scotland. That's Scotland and Laurinburg, North Carolina. Dillon's up 14-0. Marlborough County up on Lake Marion, 7-0. Bamberg Earhart up on Edisto. Is that how you say it? Edisto. 13-0. I'm learning. North Central up on Great Falls, 13-0. Chesterfield, the Golden Rams, not just any Rams, they're golden, up on Johnsonville and their Brats, 26-6. McBee leads Cheraw, 8-6, the best score of the night. Louisville up on Pageland Central, 20-0. Columbia leads C.A. Johnson, 22-0. Abbeville leads Southside Christian, the number one team, or Abbeville, the number one team in 1A. They're up 20-7. Belton and Path against Broome. Belton and Path, BHP, yeah, you know me, up 35-7. Strom Thurmond looking strong against McCormick, 27-6. Saluta's up on Crescent, 20-0. Williston Elko still up 7-0 on Pillion, while Holla leads Landrum 7-0. Clinton leads Woodruff 15-14. Pendleton's up on Chesney 27-0. Blacksburg trailing Ware Shoals 20-6. We still have no score, last report, on Lake City and Myrtle Beach. Hampton County up on Colleton County 21-0. Bluffton up on Whale Branch 29-0. Still no reported score on South Florence versus West Florence. Lugoff Elgin. Actually read that one earlier. Lugoff Elgin, that score, I don't know which, yeah, that one's a little wonky. Darlington and Lamar, 7-0 Darlington leads. South Aiken up on Silver Bluff, 14-6. Gray Collegiate up on James Island, 17-7, and that's after James Island ran the opening kickoff for a touchdown, so 17 unanswered points for the War Eagles. Ainer up on Aiken, 16-0. Chester up on Lancaster, 12-8. Keenan up on Dreer. It was 26-8, but Dreer did since cut that deficit with another touchdown. Daniel up on Chapman, 24-14 over the Fighting Debo Samuels. Emerald leads 96, 7-6. West Ashley leads Lucy G. Beckham, 7-0. Sumter up on Lakewood, 13-0. Somerville beating Stratford on the road in Goose Creek, 21-14. South Point up on Spartanburg, 13-3. North Myrtle Beach trailing Goose Creek 14-0. Fort Dorchester up on Beaufort 14-7. Wilson leads Conway 6-0. Chambers up on Clover. Chambers out of Charlotte, North Carolina leads Clover 12-7. Chapin up on Catawba Ridge 23-8. Carolina Forest up on West Brunswick 34-0. Boiling Springs up on Greer. Yeah, that one's still 29-0. Ashley Ridge over Berkeley 13-12. JL Man 35, Midland Valley, Goose Egg, nothing. Surprise of the night? Maybe. Hillcrest up on Lawrence, 13-0. Lawrence, that's the Fighting David Dares. North Augustin up on Thompson, 18-0. Hilton Head Prep up defeats Stall, 65-0. Lakeview beats Marion, 42-0. Barnwell up on Blackville Hilda, 24-7. And it looks like that is all the scoring that we have so far.
Let's go out to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. Kale is on the line. Kale, I'm not going to spoil the lead for you. I'll just say this. Hammond's hung half 100. Am I correct?
You are basically correct. It's 49. So technically, no, but you're really close.
I'll give it.
I cannot honestly, I can't believe how they're doing. I wasn't expecting this to be a blowout. I was expecting this to be a good game. But I do want to say, I think I mentioned this earlier. Hammond was 34-point underdogs coming into this game.
34-point underdogs.
Where did we pull that number from?
I'm intrigued what sports book you're using here.
I had heard that, and I don't have the actual, stats, so
fair enough.
I can't confirm it. But I was told by one of the Hammond staff members that it was in the state newspaper.
Ooh.
And all that it was that South Carolina High School Sports had posted on social media. But and word got out to all the Hammond players and staff before this game, and I think it's safe to say that gave them more than enough motivation so far.
Little juice.
Yeah, I'd say that brings the juice. Yeah.
Christ Church was driving down the field with less than a minute to go. They had a 36-yard pass to Hayes Lyndon, and they were driving, and Tucker Hendricks throws a picked off by senior linebacker Brewer Lamont, and he returned it 76 yards to take the 48-20 lead for Hammond, as they are now up 49-20. We're midway through halftime, and if any, I just want to say, you can catch this game live. I am streaming this game on Savage College Football on Instagram. So if you're a high school football fan, why not listen to the High School Sports Show and come and watch the stream?
Perfect.
You know, just have a good high school football party.
That's called a simulcast. Roger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Roger's
Good
up next
stuff,
on the
Cale.
Love
Thank
Chevy
you.
phone lines. Roger, what you got?
Yeah, I got 2 games to score. May River 28, Airport 73rd, Wilson Hall 17, Auburn Prep 14 and the third.
I don't really like that score from May River, but thank you, Roger. Appreciate it.
Welcome.
I thought it was still a 14-point deficit. Now it's 21. That's excellent.
They're going the wrong way.
R&E, wide receiver Blake Bettet.
Ooh, I like
spelled
Betete.
Bettette, has 4 receptions in the first half. 2 of those are touchdowns, and they have amassed 123 yards. Will Wilson has 3 touchdown passes, 1 for 43, 1 for 23, and a rope for 70. I mean, standing on the 21-yard line, that ball lands on the opposing 35.
Ooh.
That looked about right.
Oh,
yeah.
That is power forearm talent. Right there.
Dave Dorn and Wolfpack fans everywhere salivate. River Bluff leading 31-21, 27 seconds to go in the half.
31-21. I'll update that one. Yeah, 31-21. Against Rock Hill. You want to tell me who's the most improved team in that region, or maybe even all of 5A? River Bluff, a year older. Yeah. Parker Murray's got a year of starting quarterbacking under his belt. Stephen Collier at tight end is one of the, I guess, more underrated players in the state. He was incredibly productive both ways last season. Rock Hill is not a gimme to start the season. Any team from Rock Hill is not going to be a gimme to start the season. Very impressed that they are taking care of business so far.
Not only that, there is, this is not a score update. It is more a situational update. Stratford and Somerville are playing tonight. They were playing. The game has stopped. There's a situation. I don't know much more than what I'm telling you. There is a situation at the Somerville-Stratford game. They're asking folks that were in the stands to return to their vehicles.
Oh.
I don't know anything else. I will not speculate on what is happening. We will keep you updated on that situation as we get reliable intel and news out of that game.
Yeah, hoping for the best. I mean, that's not good. Good sign. You don't know what it is, but usually we don't stop the games for positive occurrences. So
R&E leading Spring Valley 36-13 at the half. A lot of these are starting to roll in on Twitter. My Twitter feed gets wild and crazy after about 9 o'clock. I have a mixture.
I start following who you follow.
I have a mixture of the WNBA. Got a high school football. I've got.
I love we're getting close to that fall blending pot. The sports eclipse.
Lake City leads Myrtle Beach 6-0.
Okay, fine.
9:43 to go in the third. Lake City drove the entirety of the field, a 9-yard touchdown pass or 9-yard touchdown run, and then the extra point is no good. Bamberg Earhart leading Edisto 34-0. Still showing South Point up on Spartanburg 13-9 again. Would be a very good win for South Point to take care of business against a team like Spartanburg. Again, had a good year last year. An update: Scott Iceberg from WCIV in Charleston very reliable. Police will not tell what is going on. Just telling even reporters to go directly to their car.
Okay, that's old. I don't like the sound of that.
Yeah, so they're just clearing the stadium. It is empty, and almost empty. There are a few people still leaving. That game is at Stratford. So again, we'll keep monitoring that situation. We'll keep looking at scores. If you have updates for us, 803-404-6100. More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show coming up on The Game.
Deep in the heart of racing country lies a track too tough to tame. The perfect setting for the late season drama of the Southern 500.
Outside lane gets the launch.
One last chance to make a playoff push. One last chance to catch regular season racing.
All clear.
One last chance to plan a Labor Day weekend worth bragging about.
Southern 500, baby.
NASCAR weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 31st and September 1st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
Hey guys, Jay Phillips here for my good friends at Integrated Media, Columbia's leader in today's technology for your home and business. They've got TVs from Sony and Samsung, surround sound systems from Dolby, Sonos wireless speakers, Wi-Fi that works everywhere, even cameras to see what's going on around your home. They've got you covered. Call Integrated Media at 803-948-8327. Set up a time for them to come out to your house and talk with you about your wants and your needs. You want to cut the cord? They can help. Want one of those beautiful Samsung frame TVs that looks like art when it's not turned on? They do that too. Plus fantastic outdoor systems that let you enjoy your favorite team, movie, TV show, or music while you also enjoy our beautiful South Carolina weather. You can even stop in and see them at the Experience Center, 105 Snapdragon Court in Chapin, and get a real idea of what these things look like in your home. Do what I've done, and many of your friends and neighbors. Call 803-948-8327 and get home theater like never before from Integrated Media. Hey guys, it's Jay Phillips for AAA Heating and Air. You know, for many years, AAA has been your year-round ally against changing weather across the Midlands, whether it's the hot summers or those cool winters. Let their expert team make sure that your home is always an oasis of comfort. And now, Roy and Dana Finley have a spectacular offer to make it even better for you and your family for years to come. How about 12 months, no payments or interest in 2024, plus guaranteed financing, a $1,500 system buyback rebate, and their 15-year parts and labor guarantee that speaks volumes of the trust in their service and in their products. AAA has done things at my house that make my family nice and comfortable all year long. They can do it for you too. Get a free quote today. Call AAAtoday.com. That's call AAAtoday.com or give them a shout at 803-677-1500. Tell them Jay Phillips sent you to AAA Heating and Air.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Ray.
And Mary Ann with Absolute Glass.
We've been blessed to serve the Midlands glass needs for 20 years.
We have been fortunate enough to help thousands of customers with the best glass service in town, in our store, and all over the Midlands.
Sure, we can fix your windshield, usually at no cost to you.
But at Absolute Glass, we can also care for all your other glass needs, too.
Home windows, shower doors, tabletops, shelving, storefronts, and all your commercial needs.
Contact us at 803-951-7200 or at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
Just remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird at Master Control. Got a lot for you throughout the night. And again, we've got a ton to get to. Scores continuing to roll in. We've also got some news that breaks throughout the evening, and I'm just now seeing this, but Stuart Mandel just retweeted it. The Big 12 is taking another run at UConn, according to some sources. Football wouldn't join right away.
Yeah, football should not.
Big 12's like, you can keep football. We'll just take basketball.
We just want those basketball programs.
We'll just take basketball. Just give us basketball. Just give us Coach Hurley.
Give us the two-time national champions.
Just football? You guys play football? We didn't know that.
Actually, we would rather you quit football in general just to get
just be basketball only. It's fine. Just be like Chaminade, right?
That's right. The Silver Swords. Yeah.
Just be Chaminade. Gosh. Okay, so they brought back the college football video game. You got to bring back a college basketball one.
You have to.
Got to happen,
yeah,
right?
Agreed.
That's got to happen. I had one
played religiously.
as a kid. Yeah, I was Carolina all the time, and this name will ring a bell. Carlos Powell.
Yeah.
Down low, yeah. That was good stuff. Missed that. Here's your score between East Clarendon and Scotts Branch. 2-0. East Clarendon.
Yes.
2-0.
That is football, baby. That is football. Baseball scores in football get me fired up.
You got to wonder, was that like a one man on, hit a homer situation? Was that you had runners on second and third, speedy guy at second, you hit a nice single, and he's able to stretch one out? You wonder.
Small Tony La Russa special, a little bit of small ball going on here.
BHP leads Broome 45-7. Strom Thurmond up 40-6 on McCormick. Again, these are all at last check.
Yes.
The Landrum Cardinals and Campobello, South Carolina. You've been through Campobello if you cross the state line on 26.
I'm a big fan of Caramello candy bars.
You've been through Campobello.
Probably not.
And it'll tell you there's a Starbucks at that exit 1. It's inside the store. They're trailing the Walhalla Razorbacks. And you might not have been through Walhalla. You'd know. Walhalla leads Landrum 14-7. The Woodruff Wolverines lead Clennon 27-14. The Pendleton Bulldogs lead the Chesney Eagles 34-7. Myrtle Beach has scored. They lead Lake City 7-6.
Special teams looming large.
South Florence 7, West Florence nothing. Game of the week? ? In Lower Richland over in Hopkins. We're tied at 28 in the third quarter.
Ooh.
Between Lugoff Elgin and Lower Richland.
That one's been back and forth a little bit.
Lugoff Elgin is one of those sneaky teams. Lugoff Elgin is one of those sneaky teams. And making the jump to 5A, you got to be just saying. Lugoff Elgin could make a run here. And how about our Darlington Falcons?
That's right.
A team that we consistently have rooted for on this show. Lamar, the Silver Foxes, the Fighting Tommy Suggses, lead Darlington 15-14.
Ooh.
Third quarter.
Yeah, as we get into the witching hour, that's one to keep an eye on.
PD. Again, that's the PD region of the state. Again, I'm going to learn y'all things throughout the year. That's the PD area. That's the kind of score you get in that region. Not low scoring necessarily.
High drama.
High drama.
Yeah.
It's good there.
I can mess with that.
The Monarchs of Manning lead Crestwood 7-0 at last check. Great Collegiate up on James Island 17-7. And the Lancaster Bruins lead the Cyclones of Chester 14-12. Keenan has doubled up Dreer at last check. It's 32-16. AC Flora up on the Red Hawks of Westwood 28-6. The Powdersville Patriots lead the Seneca Bobcats 21-19. And how about this one? The Easley Green Wave and the Pickens Blue Flame. They're tied at 20 at last check.
A Green Wave versus Blue Flame.
Mm-hmm. Which wins, water or fire? It's like, remember when you played rock, paper, scissors and that one kid would be like, oh, fire, oh. Yeah, no.
Doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. Chapman, the Fighting Debo Samuels, trail the Daniel Lions 31-14. And the Fountain Inn Fury trailed 20-6 against Liberty. How about this one? Here you go. The Emerald Vikings versus the 96 Wildcats. 96 has scored 6. They trail 7-6.
Oof. The name of the school being an eerie foreshadowing.
I've always loved it.
On 6.
I've always loved it. That's a look at the scoreboard that I have in front of me as I scrolled through. Again, Jefferson Davis defeated Cross 54-0.
Good Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
As these finals roll in.
Lamar 21, Darlington 20. 2-point conversion, no good. By Darlington, I would assume. So it's 21-20. 57 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Game of the week. One of them.
Yeah.
Could be multiple.
That one's going to go down to the wire. We've had a lot of really good matchups in terms of what these teams look like on paper from an expectation standpoint.
Right.
That one is delivering. Hammond's running away with it against Christ Church.
They are. Lexington's hanging on against Gilbert. Again, Gilbert has good field position. Still third quarter there. Long.
They still got to get on the board.
Way to go. Yeah.
And Gilbert's still the goose egg in the score column.
Into the third quarter at Irmo, the Yellow Jackets lead Oceanside Collegiate and the Land Sharks 21-7.
defending 2A state champion Land Sharks.
Correct. And Orlando Arcia has hit a sacrifice fly in the 7th. The Braves have tied it against the Washington Nationals 2-2.
Yeah, you got to win that.
That's right. The
you
Braves,
got to win that.
Braves were trailing the Nationals at home. Gosh, get me out of baseball season. Chapin leads Catawba Ridge 33-15. 8:07 remaining.
33-15. Okay.
In the third quarter there. So again, a lot of action from around the state and getting a bunch of these great games going on across the state. How about Newberry over Union County 33-0?
Ooh.
Pouring it on there. Bamberg Earhart over Edisto. We mentioned that one 34-0. Looking for a few more here. That Myrtle Beach touchdown to make it 7-6. Gibson Goodrow, a 20-yard touchdown pass to John Simmons.
Okay.
Back corner of the end zone.
Low-scoring one.
Yes.
I always love a good low-scoring game, but where a long touchdown pass
sort of breaks up the monotony.
Gets the score. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Keeps you on your toes. It's kind of like watching a really good soccer game where it's 0-0, but there's a lot of good scoring chances, and all of a sudden someone scores something crazy from out of the box in like the 80th minute to get a 1-0 lead. Oh man, that is high drama.
Sure.
With a perfect way to get your attention back into the intenseness of the game.
No question. The Abbeville Panthers lead 28-7. 9 minutes to go in the third quarter there. And I'm looking at a video clip that's not related to high school football, but it is football. Raheem Morris is the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
He is, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, unfortunately for him. The Jaguars were breaking their huddle, and he just walked over and joined it undetected for a bit, and then they found him. It was weird.
Espionage.
Yeah. Well, they're down 28-0. Let's go to Roger on the Love Chevy phone lines. Roger, what you got for us?
Yeah, 2-game score. Wizard Hall just broke a tie, 20-17 with a 39-yard field goal in the fourth, and the Hunter Tyler leading Allendale Fairfield 38-0 in the fourth.
So Hunter Connor Tyler continuing to put it on in the fourth quarter. Roger, we appreciate it as always. And you see what's interesting about Roger is he'll start with one, and then all of a sudden, boom, we got 2 or 3 scores coming from Roger at one time. That's the key.
More than what you bargained for.
That's the key to a good call,
Efficiency.
folks. I'm not saying you have to have multiple scores. I'm just saying that he does.
Come equipped with as much information as possible.
It would be helpful.
It takes a village.
It truly does. Let's see. Wow. Okay. Still following the situation over at Stratford and Somerville. The lights have been turned off on the concourse. Stadium's empty. Not sure what's going on. Dorman, have we mentioned Dorman and Greenville tonight at all?
We have not. That one has gone under the radar, which for Dorman should never be under the radar, but they kind of disappointed last year. And
yeah, they did. Had a down year.
This was one that, this one has been a sneaky good matchup that we have not gotten much intel on tonight.
Well, I can tell you that Dorman leads Greenville 34-7.
Oh,
with 10.5 to go in the third quarter.
I know Mazio Bennett ain't walking through that door, but dang,
I don't think so. No. And in fact, he might be walking through a different door a week from tomorrow. Hannah Pamplico leads Heathwood Hall 14-0.
That's a surprising one.
It is. Heathwood still got a quarter to go there, but a little shocking. I'll categorize that one under the I didn't see that coming, but I'm not stunned.
Yeah, I'm not falling out of my chair with that score right there.
Andrea is playing at Keenan, and they just started the second half with a kickoff return for touchdown, Tyler Tisdale. So it's 32-23. 11:44 left in the third quarter.
Don't count out the Fighting Alex Englishes.
Don't do it.
That'd be me.
I wouldn't. Some people have, not I. I don't count it. I'll let you in a little secret.
Some are saying it.
Let me just put this out here now, and Ed's gonna get a kick out of this, I think. I never root against anyone on this program. Contrary to popular belief, I root for everybody because guess what? If all the games are close, our jobs are more fun.
That's right. These nights go by. They go by in a more fun fashion whenever these are close. We want drama. We want intrigue. We want to be able to talk about great games.
Like Gilbert converting on a 4th down just a few minutes ago.
And they needed that in the worst way.
Right. By the way, Catawba Ridge, 80-yard touchdown pass. 2-point conversion is good. It's 33-23 Chapin. 7:54 left to go in the third.
That one's not over either. The thing with high school football, too, onside kicks are more are highly likely to recover onside kicks.
Yeah, because you have to tell the other team.
Yeah, you can surprise onside kick. I hate that. That's the one
okay.
Rule. That's so dumb.
There's so much going on in the world of football. That's one of the most ridiculous rules I've ever heard in my life.
It's very unfortunate.
And I watch baseball where I have to deal with a ghost runner on second in extra innings. I watch baseball where the National League has a designated hitter now.
That is one for the good, though. That's for the greater good. You cannot pay me to watch.
We'll take that off the air.
You cannot pay me to watch pitchers drool on themselves at home plate. Can't.
Okay, well then you would never ever get pitchers hitting home runs. Some of the best moments in baseball history.
I'll take that sacrifice.
Nah.
I'll sacrifice that.
Yeah. I don't know. Although I do like the decision of do I pinch hit for my pitcher in a playoff game. That's when it matters.
Yeah.
I'm an old school guy when it comes to the National League. But that's neither here nor there. We got more high school football coming up for you after the break right here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on the Game.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football.
8 days till kickoff.
While others take full advantage of the market with ridiculous add-on stickers, Love never sells above MSRP. Come experience the difference at Love Chevy, your trusted family-owned dealership since 1961. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Hey, this is Ray.
And Mary Ann with Absolute Glass.
And we're happy to have been voted Lexington's best glass store for 15 years in a row.
Many drivers are unaware that your cracked windshields can be replaced, usually at absolutely no cost to you.
If all the high-end car dealerships in town can trust us to do their glass needs, so can you.
We service the Midlands both at our shop in Lexington, but we are also happy to come to you at home or work.
Find us online at absoluteglassinc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
You haven't tasted real Carolina barbecue until you've experienced Little Pig's Barbecue. Full service dine-in buffet with barbecue, ribs, brisket, chicken, rice, hash, tomato pie, macaroni and cheese, and many more of your favorites. Eat in or take out. Little Pig's Barbecue on Alpine Road has new hours. Now open from 11 to 8 Thursday through Saturday and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Little Pig's Barbecue on Alpine Road. Little Pig's family looks forward to seeing you.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show right here on 107.5 The Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird with you on a Friday night. We are in the midst of hour number 3 of 4. If you're just joining us, you're like, wait, hold on. You guys started 30 minutes ago. No, we did not. We're 7 to 11. We're 7 to 11 now. So make that adjustment. Several alarms, a couple of reminders, just let you know. Just get used to it. It'll be good. J.L. Man, Midland Valley has gone final, 56-0.
Wow.
Midland Valley is not going undefeated.
Nope, they will not get entrance. They will not get entrance into the undefeated club. They showed the ID to the bouncer at the door, and bent said ID, determined it was fake, and they will not be entering our undefeated club after 1 week.
No, they will. They're unfortunately they had a good run last year.
Emphatic fashion. My goodness, what a statement win for JL, man.
Had a very good run last year too. Unfortunately, not going to happen this year.
55-0 or 56?
56.
56.
56.
For the record. Yeah, 56-0. I mean, it's one thing to go on the road to Midland Valley and win, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's another one to not just shut Midland Valley out,
but
to drop 56 on them is... Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're talking about teams who made the strongest statements tonight, I mean, outside of coming back from a almost 3-touchdown deficit against one of the best teams in North Carolina, shout out Northwestern, that might be the loudest and most emphatic statement I think anyone's made.
Oh, no question about that. No question. So far, and it's we had a lot of final scores here to go, but that's the emphatic statement of the night. End of the third quarter. At T.O. Hannah. T.O. Hannah's leading 6-0 over Burns. According to T.O. Hanna's Twitter page, which I appreciate, they give the most detailed reports.
They're awesome. Yes.
Both star running backs have 1 carry each.
Why?
1 carry each. Gracious. That's not good. It's been a defensive-oriented game, as a 6-0 score would illuminate.
Sometimes yardage you can have a hard time accumulating throughout the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it maybe if the defense is playing really well, your yard total can be an uncontrolled variable, but carries are not.
Right.
That's what makes that one a little confusing.
Right. Update for you from Northside Christian Academy. Northside leading Calhoun Academy 27-14. That one heading to the fourth quarter. Let's see a few more here if we can get to them. Blythewood over Nation Ford 17-0.
Wow.
Blythewood having a good 23-6. Jack Veltri with the tweet there.
Yeah, look at Jack Veltri on a Friday night doing some high school football coverage. Look at him.
Just hanging out.
Our pal, friend of the station, Jack Veltri. He is everywhere.
Just hanging out.
He is inevitable.
Just getting things done. That might be a little bit different of a story next week, of course. So that's going on right now. Going to the fourth quarter, RNE leading in that ball game 45-13. Over Spring Valley. I believe they're playing Spring Valley.
45. Yes, that would be correct. Will Wilson having himself quite the day.
By the way, the RNE Cavaliers going with the script helmets this year, at least in this game. Cavs written in script. Orange on blue helmet.
That's delicious.
Just for what it's worth, because you can't see it, because we're on the radio. Because that's how the technology works. Ridgeview leading Fairfield Central 35-12. 5:49 to go in the third quarter. Lower Richland leading Lugoff Elgin 34-28. That one going to the fourth quarter as well.
4's up.
So we got a couple ball games coming down to the wire here. Brewer Lamont had that 80-ish yard interception return for touchdown. He's got another interception. So Hammond's got the ball back again. Again, they're putting it on Christ Central right now. Pendleton leading Chesney 34-21. RNE up 45-13 going to the fourth quarter over Spring Valley. We just saw that one as well. So again, a lot of contests here that are getting into crunch time, getting into the witching hour, if you will. And when that happens, all bets are off here. As we look across the state, Hannah Pamplico has put another one on Heathwood Hall. By the way, it's 21-0.
A little surprised by that. That's
getting more surprising by the moment.
Yeah, especially considering the news today that when Heathwood Hall's best player, is going to be playing at Tennessee.
Right. Saluda leads Crescent 20-0. That one in the fourth quarter as well. Williston Elko 20-6 over Pillion. Walhalla over Landrum 20-7. A lot of these are out of the Midland footprint. Woodruff leading Clinton 27-14. Ware Shoals over Blacksburg 28-24. Myrtle Beach has scored another touchdown. It's 14-6 at last check. Again, according to my scoreboard, that will sometimes go on the fritz and not update very frequently at all. So those are a look at some of the scores that we have right now. The Cougars are on the board. Edisto Cougars, that is. They got a safety. So Bamberg Earhart leads 41-2. So they're on the board.
I feel like that is, at least in my personal experiences covering high school football, that is high school football scoregami.
You're going to hit you're going to run out of scoregami options pretty quick.
In high school football, certainly. Yeah.
Darlington.
True scoregami, that is.
Has Jalen Augustus's third rushing touchdown of the game. 7:23 to play. They go for 2. They don't get it. But a 12-play, 65-yard drive takes up 5 minutes and 33 seconds. And they lead Lamar 26-21.
GC.
Darlington Falcons, folks. I'm telling you.
They should have named them something like with ties to the racetrack.
Yeah, that'd have been good. I mean, the Airport Eagles are the Airport Eagles. I would have gone with the Jets because literally the airport is right across the street.
And that oftentimes takes off from an airport.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But Eagles do too, I guess. Eagle Aviation's right across the street, so maybe that's why.
And Eagles do fly.
They
are making connections.
Can confirm.
I've seen it with my own two eyes.
Can confirm that actually does happen. Ridgeview leads Fairfield Central 35-18 heading to the fourth quarter. Final score from Greer. Boiling Springs 43, Greer 0. So again, another shutout there.
43-zip.
And again, it's going to take some time. We're going to have to come back next week and tell you who scored the most just off the bat, because a lot of these games are, again, week zero is a slower pace. I'm going to guess that there were a lot of false starts tonight. I'm going to guess there's a lot of holding.
A lot of holding, maybe some offside from certain first-year defensive linemen.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
Procedural
not sure.
penalty.
Yeah, mostly procedural and pre-snap. Things that, someone like Shane Beamer would go into his post-game presser and, he's got to clean that up. Just can't have that. Got to clean that up. We got to coach better. We got to coach better. We got to play better. No, but someone who doesn't need to play better.
Mike Vrabel right there.
Someone who doesn't need to play better is Roger, who's back on the Love Chevy phone lines. Go ahead, Roger.
I got 4-game score. First of all, Wizard Hall beat Umber Prep 17, a hard-fought game, and Hunter Tyler beat Avondale Fairfax 38-0. May River 34. Airport 13-4. Bradbury Airport 41, and Edison nothing in the fourth.
So Roger gives us one score, then two, and has now said, you know what? I don't need two scores. I'll give you 4. Thank you, Roger. We appreciate it.
Rogers,
we appreciate
he's in mid-season form. It did not take him long to ramp up.
He is. He's up. He's ready to go now. There has been action in the T.L. Hanna Burns game. 4 minutes ago, Burns scored a touchdown and got the 2-point conversion. The snap was high on the extra point attempt. So they scramble around and then they hit the kicker for the 2-pointer. So it's 8. So it's 8-6 Burns.
Just the way they drew it up.
But T.O. Hanna comes back and scores 60 yards for the touchdown. So right now it's 12-8. I'm awaiting word on a 2-point conversion or an extra point. Wow. We'll await word on that one. Dreer has trimmed the deficit again. 6:48 to go in the third. It's 40-30.
Uh-oh.
Remember when I said defense was ahead of offense? Not in some of these games.
Not in this game. You're at 70 total points.
Good gracious. It's ridiculous. Oh, by the way, this is a stat that would have made a gleam in Tommy's eye. The Braves are playing the Nationals right now, and the Braves are in a situation where they've got to literally win every single game they play just to ensure they make the playoffs, something I didn't think I would say in March.
Or at least hope the Phillies lose. I mean, you're only 6 back of the Phillies.
6 back of the Phils, but you're only like a game and a half up in the third wild card spot. So you're kind of in that weird spot. It's a nebulous, really. Ricel Iglesias.
Good word.
Thank you. Their closer, since July 27th, has retired 38 batters in a row.
Ooh.
It's good stuff.
You can't be better, actually. In a 38 batter sample size.
As a closer, can confirm you cannot. They're going to the bottom of the ninth, tied at 2. With
Former Reds, great.
I would like for the National. I would like for the offense to be a little better, but you get what you can.
When you're gluing together your lineup,
literally, and gluing together tendons and bones. Abbeville 28, Southside Christian 7. Carson Norman for Abbeville with 134 yards thus far in the ball game.
Have yourself a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, I know we've touched on this. I'm still waiting for a bit more clarification on what's happening over at Somerville and Stratford. I've got nothing else, so I can't speculate on what's going on. I just have nothing else, and we probably won't get anything else until, with the way this situation looks, the 11 o'clock news. Honestly, that's kind of where you're at here.
We might not be able to provide you the final updates on what went down.
Not only, by the way, is the 38 straight, it is he hasn't given up an earned run since June 16th.
You're kidding.
By the way, this is the longest consecutive batter retired streak by a Braves pitcher since the expansion era started in 61. The last MLB pitcher with a streak of 35-plus was Yusmeiro Petit, 46 straight, from July 22nd to August 28th, 2014.
Huh. How about that?
Just for what it's worth. You get everything here, by the way.
That's right. We are an entertainment industry.
And by the way, do you know what team he played for in 2014?
The Washington Nationals.
No.
Dang.
Won a World Series.
The Boston Red Sox.
San Francisco Giants. That was the...
Red Sox were 13?
They were.
13.
The Giants were the even years. They were 10, 12, 14. Bruce Bochy. So that's a really cool little stat line for you, in case you're interested in that, as we await more high school football scores.
Ooh, we got an update right here. Calhoun Academy, and early in the fourth quarter, scores touchdown, but the PAT is blocked by Northside Christian. So the Northside Christian, the Crusaders, I think. Was it the Crusaders?
Yeah, they are.
Still leading 27-20, but it was once a 2-score game, cut down to 1. So when we get to the witching hour, that one is going to be a fun one to monitor.
Absolutely it is, and we'll keep monitoring it. I got a final score for you that's not really making me happy. More of the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show coming up on the game.
What's up, Gamecocks? Summer is officially here, and those famously hot temps, they aren't going anywhere soon. Super hot days can be incredibly stressful on your lawn, and even more stressful on the person maintaining it. So don't spend hours pushing around an old lawnmower or going 2 miles an hour on a bumpy old rider. Come to Cato's Power Equipment. Whether you have just a few weeds or tons of acres of grass to keep cut, our huge selection of Toro, Bravely, and Aaron zero turns will make short work of your yard. Guaranteed. Spend more time where it matters this summer. And like Cato's Power Equipment, help make your yard an oasis, not a chore.
It should be easy to find a local plumber, right? Plumber near me.
Hey there, we can help you.
Weird. These are all big companies.
Excuse me, we're a plumbing company 2 miles away. Hello?
Well, it is what it is. Guess I'll dial that 1-800 number.
Can she seriously not see us?
No, they can't see you because you're buried deep in the list of local plumbers. You're invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost. Get found. Get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
Honey, would you take a seat? I have a confession to make.
What is it? What's wrong?
Well, I was out driving today and I saw some hookers on the side of the road. A bunch of huge, professional, beautiful-looking hookers. So I did what I was supposed to do. I slowed down and I moved over.
You slowed down for the hookers?
Well, yeah, it's the law. There was a whole fleet of Schroeder's towing trucks assisting with an accident. Wait, what did you think I was talking about?
Schroeder's Towing reminds you to slow down and move over for all first responders.
Schroeder's Towing, the best and fastest hookers in town.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show, 107.5 The Game. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird, Master Control. Week 1 of the high school football season.
The 0th week of the high school football season.
It's just math, people. And I was a journalism major, and I can understand that. I literally picked a major to not do math.
Yes.
And
because it's not in our forte. But you know what? We understand the laws of mathematics maybe a little more.
Appreciate Brandon getting me on the private text line.
Your personal text line.
My personal text line.
Yet to be sponsored. Insert sponsor here.
And just
Justin Hall's Hooters. Just kidding. Text line.
Now, let me know.
We have not been in contact.
NIL opportunities for you. So Brandon hit me. He was not at the game, obviously, because it's a bit of a drive. May River 34, Airport 13, final.
Oh, tough one.
He provides a note. Airport showed promise with a freshman QB in his first start on the road. May River's got a really good defense, too. May River's one of the best defenses in the state last year in terms of points per game. I'm not coping. I'm just saying. But, again, you're working through it. You're trying to get that offense on track. Freshman quarterback. You're not in region play yet.
And that's the important thing, right? Like, it can be easy to get caught up in the wins and losses and takeaways and everything like that. If Dutch Fork taught you anything last year,
yes,
It's that you can absolutely lay some eggs here in August and the first couple weeks of September. But by the time you get to region play, that's when you have to have developed a little bit, right? One's like none of these games tonight, as excited as we are for high school football to be back, are making and breaking games for the season. It is fair to take away to get some takeaways, like JL Mann going to Midland Valley and laying the lumber.
Sure,
certainly is a statement win.
Yeah, I would agree. But
I'm sure JL Mann will trade that. They would trade that for whooping up on somebody in their region 56 or 54 to nothing later on in the season.
I'm looking at Airport's schedule, by the way. Cool graphic. I like how they do the graphics now in high school.
I know that is nice. Yeah,
nice graphic.
River Bluff is one of the better ones too. River Bluff has some awesome graphics. They got a good team.
This is the last road trip for the Airport Eagles until the last Friday of the month of September. They host Orangeburg Wilkinson next week for homecoming.
Okay.
Home opener homecoming. Not bad. Then they host Westwood.
Don't like it.
Yeah, host Westwood and then host Aiken. So there's your region play. Bang. September 20th, week 4, region. Aiken, then at South Aiken, at Midland Valley, at Gray Collegiate. Oof.
That's a tough one to end.
Then you host North Augusta. Oof. Then you host Gilbert. Oof. Then you go to Brooklyn Casey
to end the season.
Mm-hmm. On the first,
I do like the
first day of November.
I do like the rivalry game to end the season.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, regular season games in November. Sometimes the calendar turns that way. It's not always the case.
So it's a long way to go. Long way to go for the Eagles. For those of us who have a vested interest in their performance. Bamberg Earhart 41-10 final over Edisto. That is officially a final score. Dreer has recovered a turnover, keeping it close. They're down by 10. And because this is coming up in my formerly known as Twitter page, the Jacksonville Jaguars defeat the Atlanta Falcons 31-0.
Falcons in midseason form, baby.
Yeah, thank you for that. Berkeley leads Ashley Ridge 34-26 with just over 8 minutes remaining. Ricel Iglesias is back out for the 10th inning because going to extras. Jacob Young was hit by a pitch, so there goes the streak of retired batters.
Broadcaster jinx live and in person.
Listen, the Braves have much bigger problems than Ricel plunking a guy in the 10th to put 2 runners on, because apparently 1 runner already needs to be on in the 10th because we have to speed up the game of baseball. Gilbert, by the way, just failed to convert a 4th down, but Lexington was called for unsportsmanlike conduct after the play. So instead of turning the ball over, Gilbert gets it first down at the Lexington 44.
They're still trying to get on the scoreboard. Lexington's still sitting on a 17-0 lead.
BHP 45, Broome 7.
Statement win. Against the top 10 team in their classification.
Yes. And as I scoreboard watch, the Mets trail the Pods, the Swinging Friars, 1-0 after a Luis Arias solo homer that plunked a kid in the face, it looks like. Kid's crying. So I got either the ball got stolen from him by an adult or he got hit with it. One of the two. So Keenan was driving on Dreer inside the 20 down to the 17. That's where they fumbled. So Keenan going in to score possibly put that game away. And instead, Dreer has the ball back and a chance to try to make this a ball game.
Instead, it got a little more interesting.
It did. Blythewood, Nation Ford, 30-6.
Good for Blythewood.
At last check. That's from last check with Jack Veltri. Fort Mill, the Yellow Jackets, defeated Ballantine. That's not a local team. The Ridge Wolves. Never heard of a Ridge Wolf.
That's a first for me too.
56-0 though. Fort Mill gets the win.
Heavens.
There. So it's I would say a pretty good night for Fort Mill. Pretty good night for Blythewood right now. Solid night for Blythewood. Again, Nation Ford, a very good program that has been good for quite a while. in the 4A ranks, no question about it. And so they're taking care of business.
I think our theme for tonight might be some comebacks too, because earlier we mentioned that Gray, after giving up the opening kickoff for a touchdown against James Island, scored 17 unanswered. Well, James Island finally scores again. That one's 17-14 in the fourth quarter.
Gracious.
TL Hanna picks off Burns, leading 12-8. That interception is returned to the 31. Not sure which 31. And then Clinton, who was down to Woodruff, I think that was 27-14.
Something like
that.
At
one point. Jordan Farrell tweets from Fox Sports in Spartanburg, Clinton scores on 4th and 2 to Sean Richardson, gets loose and goes near side for the 30-yard touchdown rush. 2-point try is stopped half a yard short, but that gives the Red Devils a 28-27 lead with 3:17 to play in the third.
Let's go to Kale on the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. Kale, another update from Hammond and Christchurch.
What's up, guys? The fourth quarter just started. Hammond is in front 49-28, but they are driving as they are on the Christchurch 27 after Emmanuel Johnson just picked up a 24-yard gain, and he broke 3 tackles in that process.
Manny Johnson, one of the better running backs in the state. Kale, we appreciate it. That's a 21-point deficit for Christchurch. Why do I mention that? Northwestern was down by 20 in the fourth quarter earlier today against Huff and came back and won. So no game is safe.
If tonight has taught you anything, and if Chris Daughtry has taught you anything, that it's not over, and we're going to do it right this time around.
A couple of updates for you. Appreciate Thomas Grant letting me know with a video clip, by the way, on Twitter.
Yes.
Anton Jones with the 3-yard touchdown, 23 seconds left. Irmo on their way to a season-opening 35-7 win.
Statement.
Over the Land Sharks of Oceanside Collegiate. And Mark, our Chapin guy, has been keeping me updated on Chapin and Catawba Ridge.
Thank you, Mark.
One of Catawba Ridge's players apparently down with a neck injury, has been down for 20 minutes. EMS and trainers are attending to him. 4:43 to go in the third quarter there, but that game is currently in a bit of a delay due to a very serious injury situation over there at Chapin and Catawba Ridge. We'll be back. Hour number 4, final hour coming up at the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on the game.
Autumn is almost here. They're getting ready for the change of the season at Dan's Fan City in Harbison. They're celebrating with amazing deals on floor samples, closeouts, and overstocks. Whether you're looking to upgrade your ceiling fans or add a new one to your space, Dan's Fan City has you covered. Stop by their store or give them a call at 781-FANS to take advantage of these fantastic offers. Don't miss out on the chance to save big and elevate your home's comfort and style with Dan's Fan City on Harbison Boulevard.
Get ready to smile because Herndon Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer, is offering an amazing deal right now. Get up to $20,000 off new Silverados. Yes, you heard that right. Up to $20,000 off. Don't wait. Head over to HerndonChevy.com today and drive home in the truck of your dreams. Chevy, together let's drive.
Herndon Chevrolet, Herndon makes you wanna smile.
Call 803-510-5447 for complete details.
Kick off fall with Labor Day deals at Lowe's. Right now, buy one, get one free on select interior paint via Lowe's gift card rebate for your next paint project. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members save more on select 1.5 pint or 1 quart mums. Get 5 for just $10. Shop these can't-miss deals today before they're gone. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 9/4 while supplies last. More terms and restrictions apply. Program subject to terms and conditions. Details at Lowes.com/terms. Subject to change. See Lowes.com/rebates for details.
It's the perfect time to get a jump on fall style at Macy's Ultimate Shopping Event, where you'll find incredible savings on the wardrobe update you need. Shop great looks you can wear now and later with an extra 25% off designer brands that rarely go on sale and 15% off your favorite makeup, fragrance, skincare, and more. Get ready for your best fall yet. Today at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Hey guys, it's Jay Phillips for AAA Heating and Air. You know, for many years, AAA has been your year-round ally against changing weather across the Midlands, whether it's the hot summers or those cool winters. Let their expert team make sure that your home is always an oasis of comfort. And now, Roy and Dana Finley have a spectacular offer to make it even better for you and your family for years to come. How about 12 months, no payments or interest in 2024, plus guaranteed financing, a $1,500 system buyback rebate, and their 15-year parts and labor guarantee that speaks volumes of the trust in their service and in their products. AAA has done things at my house that make my family nice and comfortable all year long. They can do it for you too. Get a free quote today. Call AAAtoday.com. That's call AAAtoday.com or give them a shout at 803-677-1500. Tell them Jay Phillips sent you to AAA Heating and Air.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, the credit card bill came and we're maxed out.
Great! Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by for a few weeks.
We should do what my brother did. He went to billshappen.com and got $3,000 the next day.
With our bad credit, I don't think so.
Billshappen.com is different. They are one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope, my brother said it was easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. Bills Happen's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to billshappen.com, and we will have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to billshappen.com. That's billshappen.com. Billshappen.com.
WNKT FM, Eastover, Columbia.
The home of the national champion Gamecocks women's basketball team. Congrats, y'all.
A Cumulus media station. It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show
on 107.5. The Game.
Welcome back in, fourth and final hour of the program right here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. Justin Hall, Ed Bird, Elijah Campbell with you. I switched it up there.
That's right.
Keep you guessing.
Keep you on your toes.
Keep you guessing. Week 0, week 1 of the high school football season here in the Palmetto State. It's a great night of action across the state. We got a lot of scores to get to. Got some good ones, got some not so good ones, got some comebacks, got some close games. We do have a follow-up. Before the break, we mentioned that situation with Catawba Ridge and Chapin. The player being taken off the field gave a thumbs up to the crowd. Seemed to have some movement. So good situation there. Hopefully we, again, continue pray that his injury isn't serious. And that's the goal there. And hopefully that is what comes to pass. But Chapin leading Catawba Ridge in that one. They're getting back underway. Manny Johnson just scored his third rushing touchdown of the game. And Hammond leads Christ Church 56-28 with 6:54 remaining in the ball game. And now if, and it's a big if this whole 30-point underdog business was actually legit and serious, you don't do that. That's rat poison. That's what that is.
Nick Saban would absolutely say that's rat poison.
No, 100%. For Christ Church, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Bulletin board material for Hammond. Not a good situation there in terms of on the scoreboard. Woodruff leads Clinton 33-28 going to the fourth quarter.
Retaking the lead. That one's gone back and forth here in the second half.
Berkeley over Ashley Ridge 41-26. The Fighting Chris Deerings.
That's right. Stags.
Pendleton. You got to say it like that too. Stags. Pendleton. Clip that and just play that every week.
Anytime we have a Berkeley score, Stags.
Pendleton leads Chesney 47-21. Again, it's that perfect time of year. Lexington, by the way, up 24-0 on Gilbert. Again, it's week 0, week 1. And so I don't know how much we can take away from this long term in terms of forecasting out a season. Every week's a season. So I don't know what you get from it.
I go 1-0 each week.
I will tell you this. There are a couple of phrases that will be banned henceforth on this program. And one of them is, you are what your record says you are. That is a lie. That is a lie.
Take that, Bill Parcells.
You are not always what your record says you are. Now, there could be situations where you are what your record says you are. That's possible.
Are you
could
who
just
we
be
thought
the
they
most,
were?
Well, let them off the hook.
Also up to debate.
You could be 6-6. Now, it's not up to debate to know that you play to win the game, but
we have covered 3 straight famous coaches.
Now, I wasn't laughing either. I wasn't laughing. You can't prove that. I wasn't laughing. I think that was the same preseason game. I could be wrong. Oh, gosh. You could go down a memory hole on YouTube if you're not careful. But it's hard to take away a lot of things, especially for a team like Gilbert. Under a new head coach, staff fairly intact, but you're playing against a Lexington team that's a bit more physical than you, it looks like. And I've had to glance up. So I haven't watched the tape. I'm not watching the All-22, right? They just look more physical right now off the line of scrimmage.
That last touchdown that Lexington scored, short yardage rushing touchdown, there was definitely some movement.
Yes,
you know how we're incorporating the use of this brand new room built here at the studio, the Undefeated Club, and sometimes bouncers, like good offensive linemen, have to be movers of human beings outside of the room. And I think the best compliment you could pay an offensive line is that they were getting their bouncer game on. And in that touchdown, that Lexington offensive line were movers of men and escorting them off the line of scrimmage. And that's how this Lexington team's winning this game right now. It looks like, just from what we've been able to catch. And that touchdown alone was evidence of that, the difference in the game being the movers of men in the line of scrimmage in the trenches.
Big people moving big people. By the way, because it seems like every year that I've done this show and been a part of it, the Braves are in playoff contention. Not like this year. But the Braves have come from behind to beat the Washington Nationals. Michael Harris II grounded a ball to the second baseman with a runner on third, and the first baseman couldn't handle the ball in the dirt. So Michael was safe. That was with 2 outs. Michael was safe, and the run scored. Atlanta now 69-59, 10 games above 500, and can confirm the Phils are losing to the Royals right now in the 6th.
They're going to gain a game. They will be 5 games back of the Phillies.
Take advantage of the Nationals this weekend because you got the Twins next week. And then 4 against the Phils.
I can hear Chris Daughtry right now. It is not over.
Well, I am an optimist when it comes to my Bravos. I think that's one thing that Phillips and I have in common. But just get to the playoffs at this point. I don't necessarily need you to win a series because you haven't done that in a couple years anyway. Just saying. Plenty of action, though, around the state that we're continuing to monitor. Again, it's that weird time of the night.
The final scores are when I say trickling in, they are trickling in. We're not at the point where I'm drinking through a fire hose just yet.
No, we're not to that point yet.
I'm still digging very hard to see if that East Clarendon score is still 2-0.
I think it might be. I haven't seen a different one yet. By the way, final score: Westwood falls to AC Flora, 42-6.
AC Flora,
42-6, 42 points
after a disappointing year last year.
Remember what we said at the beginning of the show, that AC Flora averaged defensively, giving up 36.5 points per game. Tonight they gave up 6. Good things happen when you outscore your opponent.
Who was it? Was it Trent Dilfer that said you can't win games in the NFL by losing? You can't win games in high school football giving up more points than you score.
It's true. Fact check. True.
Confirmed.
Final score again from May River. The Eagles of Airport fall 34-13 to May River. They're back home, according to their Twitter page. They're back home next week against Orangeburg Wilkinson for homecoming, week 2. Home opener. Homecoming.
A hopener? Homecoming.
A lot of hope there. Porter Gal defeats First Baptist 59-35, combining for, quick math, 94 points.
59-35.
94 points combined in that ball game. Wilson Hall takes down Orangeburg Prep 20-17. Northwood Academy. This game is far beyond halftime, but it was 21-7 at the half. I got nothing since then. We got a ball game between Dorman and Greenville. If you're interested in this.
Dorman was laying the lumber on them earlier.
Dorman was up 34-7. There is 47 seconds left in the third quarter, and Dorman leads 34-28.
Oh, my God. 21 unanswered.
Maybe.
Did Mazio Bennett walk through the door? we played the Rick Pitino game earlier saying Mazio Bennett ain't walking through that door.
With a white suit and everything.
Maybe he did walk through that door. I don't know. Did he clone himself? Get an extra year of SCHSL eligibility?
Well done on the acronym.
Yeah, that's hard to say fast. I just learned how hard that is to say.
Period.
In the flow of a sentence. Yes. But maybe he did. Maybe he did clone himself. I don't know. That would explain.
Getting tight there.
Digging out of the hole there. And they still have a whole quarter to go.
Which says a lot about where we are in terms of the speed of the game right now in week 0. Just saying.
I don't think this is going to be a precursor to the rest of the season.
I certainly hope not.
Where games are going to be ending close to us going off the air. One of the reasons why we decided to go off the air at 11 is because we figured these games would be over. And I think because of maybe first game jitters that we're going to have some maybe 3-hour game times.
It's about the time they would normally wrap up anyway. By the way, Philip Simmons and Hanahan, both of these teams down in the low country. Philip Simmons leads Hanahan 28-19. Kudos and respect if you can tell me what the nickname Philip Simmons is. It involves a...
Need a hint.
It involves a piece of... okay, I'll give you the broad metal. But in that family. I'm not saying it is a metal. I'm just saying it's in that family. I'll get better. It's on the periodic table of elements.
Oh, wow. Oh, good Lord.
That narrowed it down, right?
Oh, wow. It should have.
Should.
The bronze. Just kidding.
No. Its atomic symbol is Fe. I'm learning y'all a lot. And
I had a lot of help pass in chemistry class. I think the
Ed Bird, cheat off his paper.
Ed Bird passed chemistry.
Atomic number 26, it's iron. They are the Iron Horses.
The Iron Horses?
The Iron Horses.
That is strong.
Very, very good. An underrated nickname, I might add. The Iron Horses of Philip Simmons leading 28-19. I'm going to discuss more about how Ed knew that so quickly. It's interesting. That's fair. Yeah. Wow.
What'd he say?
I got nuclear engineering.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Ed Bird is the brains of the operations.
Literally.
Here. I cannot be a nuclear engineer.
I squeezed 4 years.
I was not that good of a student.
I squeezed 4 years of college into 4.5. Remember that?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Ed did it in 2 years. Okay.
Ed, whatever the opposite of a victory lap is, Ed did that twice. So whatever the opposite of it is.
Wow. All right. I got to go.
Remarkable.
Wow.
He's the man.
MacB, the Panthers, the Fighting Rick Henrys, trail Sherrall 14-8. Louisville wins 20-0 over Pageland Central. A battle of Columbia schools that are very, 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 very close together. Columbia, the Capitals, lead C.A. Johnson 22-12.
Ooh, that was getting a little tighter. Columbia started off really hot in that game. And C.A. Johnson, I mean, to their credit, the theme of the night, it's not over until those zeros are on the clock. And
absolutely,
things are official. You cannot put anything in Sharpie tonight.
Not at all. 45-14, BHP gets the win over Broome. That
dominant.
Is the final.
BHP and JL Mann having two of the biggest statement wins in terms of crushing a really good opponent.
Oh, yeah. R&E quarterback Will Wilson, they beat Spring Valley last year to end a 12-year losing streak to Spring Valley. And tonight they won for the first time on campus over Spring Valley. Will Wilson had 3 touchdown passes, one for 43, one for 23, and one for 70. It was a rope. And two touchdown runs, one for 1 yard and one for 27 yards in the first half.
Helmet sticker, Will Wilson, baby. I'll give out an early helmet sticker.
Are we doing helmet stickers too?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. That's one of the best segments.
I need to buy me a helmet, actually. So for the video stream here, I need to buy a helmet. And then I'm just going to slap some stickers on it, kind of like what they used to do on
College Football Final.
College Football Final, yes, with Lou Holtz.
Now, are you Mark May or are you Lou Holtz?
Oh, man.
Or are you Reese Davis? I think Ed's Reese Davis.
Yeah, Ed's Reese Davis.
Yeah.
He certainly is, because he's the one keeping everything on track, and we're the goobers that are coming up or accidentally making clips.
I will not do my Lou Holtz impression on the air. I will not do it. However, I can tell you...
I want people that are listening to this to still like me, so I don't think I'm going to do mine either.
Game of the night. Final score from Lower Richland. Lugoff Elgin 35. Lower Richland 34.
Wow!
Lugoff Elgin scores on a double pass with 16 seconds left. Leon Boulware wins his debut as the head coach at Lugoff Elgin.
35-34. A double pass.
That's fantastic.
To win the game.
With 16 seconds left. And you were trailing. Just based on math, you were down 34-28.
35-34. I need to update my sheet here. That is, game of the night. That's a pretty easy call right there. That's thrilling. That is exciting.
Well, I hate to do this, but we got to go to Jonathan on the Love Chevy phone lines. Jonathan, you got to follow that up. What you got for us?
Hard to follow.
I do. Yeah, final score from Bolden is Columbia High 22, C.H. Johnson 12. Columbia High got off to a 22-0 lead at a halftime. C.H. Johnson ran the ball a little bit better in the second half and did cut it to 22-12, but Columbia's defense shut them down at the end. Nice win for the Capitals. 1-0 to start the season. Really proud of the Caps. Go Capitals.
That's awesome. A great win for the Capitals. Thank you, Jonathan. We appreciate it. Big win for Columbia. We have got to hit a break, so we'll do that. We'll come back. More reaction to Week 0, Week 1, here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football.
8 days till kickoff.
While others take full advantage of the market with ridiculous add-on stickers, Love never sells above MSRP. Come experience the difference at Love Chevy, your trusted family-owned dealership since 1961. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Hilton Garden Inn, downtown Columbia, and Gamecock football go hand in hand for the ultimate fan experience. Located in the heart of the city, their prime location offers easy access to all the action on game day. With home dates available for exciting matchups against Old Dominion, LSU, Ole Miss, Wofford, Missouri, and Texas A&M, there's no better place to stay for Gamecock football season. Book your room now by calling 803-227-3400 and let them take care of the rest. Enjoy comfort, convenience, and hospitality at Hilton Garden Inn, Columbia, downtown.
Don't let the season fool you. It's pool time in the Midlands. Hi, I'm Paul Romenstein, proud owner of Midlands Landscape and Loans. We have the experts in custom pool design and installation. The summer months might be flying away, but in the Midlands, the heat is here to stay. Dive into comfort and beat the heat all year round. Call Midlands Landscape today and make your dream pool a reality. MidlandsLandscape.com.
Have you had a broken windshield complement to those South Carolina roads? The insurance company might try to steer you one way to the big national guy, but remember, it's your choice. Go local. Call Absolute Glass.
We can repair your car back to factory specifications, including recalibrating all of your safety systems. We do great work and have been building long-lasting relationships for over 20 years.
That's why we've been voted Best Glass Company in Lexington for 15 straight years. Visit us online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com or call us at 951-7200. And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
Deep in the heart of racing country lies a track too tough to tame. The perfect setting for the late season drama of the Southern 500.
Outside lane gets the launch.
One last chance to make a playoff push. One last chance to catch regular season racing.
All clear.
One last chance to plan a Labor Day weekend worth bragging about.
Southern 500, baby.
NASCAR weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 31st and September 1st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on 107.5 The Game. We got a lot more to get to, and we got a little time to do it. last hour here of the program. 803-404-6100 if you want to get in here. Final score from Lexington. The Wildcats beat the Gilbert Indians 24-0. Another chapter written in that rivalry. Let's go to the Love Chevy phone lines there. Roger is back with us. Go ahead, Roger.
I got 3-game score. First of all, May River beat Airport 34-13. Bamberg 41. Edison 2 in the fourth. And the Wagner said just beat Denmark over 27-20 about 5 minutes ago.
Wagner Sally over Denmark Oler.
Wow.
That's one I haven't heard tonight. If I might have, and I just might have missed it.
So 27-20, correct?
Yes, Roger. We appreciate that. A good one possession score difference there. We appreciate you as always, giving us the scoop on all these games, and we appreciate it, bud. Thank you so much. Again, we just mentioned before he was on with us, Lexington beat Gilbert 24-0. And then I've got one more for you here. It's 19-16 up there between Hannah and Burns. Ooh. But, it's kind of hard to follow. You got to be really into it. It is 19-16 TL Hannah with 2:07 to play.
Ooh, we might have.
Hannah was running out the clock with the ball and a 2-score lead. But it's 2:07 to play now after a turnover and Burns converting it for a touchdown. So it's 19-16 and that game's getting very close.
Ooh, and we have another final two. Shout out my boy John Carlos, who was taking photos at this game as a photographer. But Gray Collegiate, James Island was making that comeback. They were down 17-7 for a majority of this game. And they had the ball with a chance to take the lead or tie, but an interception from Gray Collegiate seals the game. They milked the clock after that. Gray Collegiate 1-0 in the post-Adam Holmes era. And in their first ever game as a 4A school, they take care of business against 5A James Island, 17-14.
And, oh my goodness. So that again, that goes to show you how competitive that region's going to be. I'm serious. That's going to be a region to watch. Not so much because I graduated from one of the schools in that region, but
so you have an emotional investment.
I can separate the emotion from the game, right? I mean, I've covered the team down the road in college football before, so
yeah.
And trust me, you got to separate the emotion.
That is the test.
North Central 49, Great Falls 6. That is a final. No, excuse me. That's going to the fourth quarter. Oh my gracious.
Breaking news: games are 4 quarters long.
Yeah, but
not 3.
Well,
the Atlanta Falcons would be a happier franchise if games were 3 quarters long.
It's impossible. You can't have a full game if it's only 3 quarters.
That's right. You can't have a full game. You can't win in the NFL if you're losing.
We're breaking new ground here, folks.
That wisdom can get you on ESPN and make you the head coach of UAB.
And win a Super Bowl.
And win a lot of state championships in Tennessee with David Lipscomb.
It's true. At this time of night, every week, we'll give you a quick look at the upcoming day in college football that will follow, the day after we go off the air. And sometimes it would be happening as we go off back in the day when it was midnight, but that's neither here nor there. Here's your slate for games.
New year, new us.
Here's your slate for tomorrow. Delaware State plays Hawaii. Hawaii is a 40.5-point favorite.
That is certainly a football game.
At Clarence T.C. Ching Athletics Complex, high of 88.
Ooh.
Montana State travels to New Mexico to take on the Lobos.
Montana State.
They're a 14-point favorite on the road.
14-point favorite on the road, an FCS school at an FBS school.
Nevada in Reno.
It's the world.
They host ACC powerhouse SMU.
Ah, yes. ACC legend, Craig James.
And still, Pony Express is one of the best 30 for 30s.
Yes, so well done.
SMU is a 27-point favorite on the road. And then, of course, the highlight game of the week is the Aer Lingus College Football Classic from Aviva Stadium in Dublin. Sorry, I added a D there. It's Dublin. It's noon between Florida State and Georgia Tech. Florida State is a 10.5-point favorite, coming off an undefeated regular season. Georgia Tech coming off a Gasparilla Bowl win We're 7-6. Only 10.5. And the over-under is 55.5.
I'm telling you, I am infatuated with Georgia Tech plus the number at 10.5.
By the way,
they intrigue me. They intrigue me a lot this year. I don't think they're going to be a college football playoff contender by any means, but I am oddly intrigued with the Yellow Jackets this year.
If you're interested, if you're driving from Atlanta, that's the location of Georgia Tech. I'll tell you that one time my wife and I went to a Braves game down in Atlanta, but we got there kind of early and we're killing time. I ended up on Georgia Tech's campus, just driving around. But if you're driving from Georgia Tech's campus in Atlanta to Tallahassee, Florida, that is 268 miles. Now, if you are going from Atlanta to Dublin, Ireland,
you can't drive that. That is for sure.
Can confirm you can't drive it. It's
unless your car can drive on water.
3,938 miles. The schools are 268 miles apart.
And you know what's crazy? They have an international trip this year to play that game in Dublin, right?
They do.
And that still is not going to be more than Cal is going to travel the entire season.
It's true.
Cal is going to travel 24,000 miles for all their football games this year.
Very true.
The circumference of the earth is like 25,000 miles.
Unbelievable. Well, that's your look at college football for tomorrow.
Senseless.
Hope you enjoy it. At least it's not one of those where it kicks off at like 5 a.m. I mean, there is
Very
that.
true. Very true.
There is that. It's not like one of those London NFL games that kicks off at 9 a.m. No one wants that. Let's go back out to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. I'm looking at the final score of the game that Cale is about to tell us about. Go ahead, Cale.
What's up, guys? Hammond crushes Christ Church 56-28 in a game that I would not have predicted, personally. I would not have predicted this being the outcome.
In terms of you thought Christ Church was a better team and would win, or that it would be closer?
I thought it would be closer. I thought this was going to be a very competitive game, and Hammond just dominated this game all throughout.
Give us a helmet sticker. We've been giving out helmet stickers here in this final hour of the show. If you have to give a helmet sticker to someone on Hammond as a standout performer, who are you giving that sticker to? Because it sounds like you can give it to a lot of guys. We're going to have to narrow it down to one, but when you beat a team like Christ Church 56-28, somebody has to really stand out.
That's true, and I'm trying to figure out because Jack Croft had a wide receiver. He had a receiving touchdown and then the opening kick return touchdown. Brewer Lamont, he had that pick six. Well, he got another interception in the third quarter. And then Emmanuel Johnson, the Davidson commit, has had 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. So, it's tough, man. That's a tough one.
Put you on the spot.
Because I think all of those players are worthy of getting a helmet sticker. But if I'm going to be narrowed down to one, I'm going to go with Brewer Lamont, just because getting 2 interceptions in the same game is very difficult, especially against a quarterback that's a preferred walk-on commit to Clemson.
That's fair. Good point.
Brewer Lamont.
Good point, Cale.
We're going to write that down.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for keeping us updated on that one.
Yes,
Eden
thank you. Good job
Stadium
tonight.
strikes again. Listen, Hammond is known for punching above their weight class. They went up to Gaffney and lost by 7. So not unheard of for Hammond to defy the odds. While Ed Bird is getting us lined up with some more phone calls, Ridgeview defeats Fairfield Central 42-18. Win number 1 as they move forward on possibly going undefeated, as I called my shot earlier, and I'm sticking with it.
Hey, you can't go undefeated if you don't win the first game. So we're going to be tracking this one all season long. For now, they have entered themselves into the undefeated club.
They indeed have. For now,
a segment we will debut next week. I'm very excited about that. 50 Cent, let us know who is what I like to call ITC.
Let's go to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. Herman is on the line. Go ahead, Herman.
Yes, we got a score of the Cross in Calhoun County. Cross won it 20-0 over Calhoun County.
Cross 20, Calhoun County 0. Thank you, Herman. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Thank you for giving us a ring. Another shutout. Let's stay on the Love Chevy phone lines and go to William next. William, what you got?
Yeah, I was wondering if y'all had a hand at score. And then also, I know there's a lot of Braves fans on this. I just want to go ahead as a Phillies fan. I want to congratulate the Braves on the biggest comeback ever in a division.
Is this reverse psychology here? Is this reverse psychology? Are you trying to speak something into existence
William,
of them fighting off the Braves? Because
don't do that.
Justin R. has already jinxed Rossiel Iglesias tonight. He's already jinxed his streak. So I'm not sure if you listen to that and you're like, hey, I want to get in on this broadcasting jinx action. But I think, and if that's the case, kudos to you, because I would be trying the same thing. But it's definitely interesting. I didn't think we'd think it's this interesting weeks ago.
Won the division. It's over.
Well, William,
it's going to stink but I've seen this so many. They're going to Philly this. It's a great team that just is going to find a way. They were the ESPN 30 for 30 documentary about. What if I told you a team that was 30 games over 500 went across the pond and it all fell apart at that moment is going to go so hard. It's
William,
that's all spiraled.
I appreciate it, William. Thank you. We appreciate the phone call. TL Hanna, by the way, is up 19-16. They have 4th and short. They're going to go for it. They go hard count. They went hard count on 3rd down and nearly got offsides, but they didn't. Now it's 4th and short. They went hard count. They call a timeout. They're up 19-16. In regards, I know this is a high school football show, but in regards to your sorcery that you just did.
I see what he's doing. William's
the Braves,
playing chess.
Chess, not checkers, man. The Braves, it wouldn't be the large. Well, it might be. The Phillies have led the division since May, I think.
At least.
Maybe April. The Braves did come back from 10.5 back against the Mets 2 years ago. For a pretty legitimate comeback. But you got to remember, this is the Phillies blowing it like you say they always do, and an Atlanta sports team. Hello.
That is pretty rich when talking about Atlanta sports team.
2 divisional rounds in a row. We'll come back on the other side. More final scores coming up here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on the Game.
Nothing slows down a job like not having the right equipment. Maybe your favorite zero-turn or push mower is getting repaired right now. Or maybe you want to take advantage of some dry weather to finally aerate or dethatch your lawn. Or maybe you just want a great excuse to mow with our super cool Gravely EV. Either way, come to Cato's, where we have a ton of new rental equipment available for daily, weekly, and monthly rentals. Cato's Power Equipment is here to bring you solutions to keep your yard or your customer's yard looking their best. Give us a call at 803-254-3711.
You can count on hot summers in the Midlands.
You can count on those South Carolina roads biting.
But when you end up with a broken windshield, you can certainly count on Absolute Glass.
With one phone call, we can repair, replace, and recalibrate your car's windshield.
We'll handle the insurance calls, and for most folks, it won't cost you a dime to let us fix your windshield.
Absolute Glass has been voted Lexington's best for 15 years straight.
So call Absolute Glass at 951-7200.
Or find us online at AbsoluteGlassInc.com.
And remember, if you can see through it, we can do it.
Healthy Connections Medicaid members, did you know you need to renew your Medicaid coverage each year? You can complete your annual Medicaid eligibility review or check your status online at apply.scdhhs.gov. Healthy Connections Medicaid members can now create an ID.me account to easily stay up to date and report household changes. Visit apply.scdhhs.gov to learn more. And remember, submit your review when it's time to renew. This message is from Healthy Connections Medicaid and paid for by DPH.
You haven't tasted real Carolina barbecue until you've experienced Little Pig's Barbecue. Full service dine-in buffet with barbecue, ribs, brisket, chicken, rice, hash, tomato pie, macaroni and cheese, and many more of your favorites. Eat in or take out. Little Pig's Barbecue on Alpine Road has new hours. Now open from 11 to 8 Thursday through Saturday and 11 to 3 on Sunday. Little Pig's Barbecue on Alpine Road. Little Pig's family looks forward to seeing you. Have a passion for serving children and families? Apply to become a child welfare case manager at dss.sc.gov. This message is sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Social Services.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird with you. Before we get to the phone lines, let's head to that Honda Columbia Drive of the Week. We got a couple in progress here, but our show ends in 30 minutes, so we got to find one. You know what? I was set on this one. Now I'm waffling, but I've got to go with it. Honda of Columbia Drive of the Week. Everyone in agreement? Lugoff Elgin?
Easily.
Trailing with 16 seconds left, down 34-28, I would assume, based on the math. Double pass with 16 seconds left on the road. Your head coach's debut as your head coach, and you get the win 35-34 over Lower Richland.
Yeah,
you're in 5A now too, bud.
I'm gonna put it bluntly. That's badass.
That's
a way. That's a way to go 1-0. That is a great way to start.
By the way,
season.
You're in a region where Blythewood won tonight, Ridgeview won tonight, Sumter did not play, Westwood lost, and West Florence is tied up in a good one with South Florence. So your Honda of Columbia Drive of the Week is Lugoff Elgin. Your longest drive of the week is not Florida State and Georgia Tech.
Can't drive that one.
No, you cannot. I'm looking this up really quickly because I didn't have it pulled up yet. But to get from Airport High School to May River High School, it takes 2 hours and 11 minutes if you're doing 26 and then down 95, which seems to be the best way because you go from Lexington to Bluffton. That's the longest drive of the week, but the Honda of Columbia Drive of the Week on the field is Lugoff Elgin. And now we go to the Love Chevy phone lines, 803-404-6100. He was at Lexington High School tonight for a rivalry matchup in Week 1, between Lexington and Gilbert. The man, the myth, the legend, Lou, affectionately known as Uncle Lou Bajak on this program henceforth. Lou Bajak joins us on the program. Lou, welcome back. Glad to have high school football back in our lives.
Yeah, definitely glad to have it back, and a great night for football. Packed house here at Lexington, standing room only, and saw a dominating performance by the Wildcats. Shut down a potent Gilbert offense and spoiled the debut for Ozzie Zoom. 24-0. Lexington gets the win over their rivals, Gilbert.
Lou, we were watching it as much as we could on the screens here. A couple times I looked up, it appeared that Lexington's just bigger. Is that fair? Is that fair to say? What played into Gilbert really not being able to move the ball well, and Lexington really being able to do it when they had to put up some points?
Yeah, they're more physical. They just kind of smashed them in the mouth a little bit. I just thought they were a lot motivated. They got embarrassed last year, to be honest, when they played Gilbert. It was only 14-3, but, Gilbert did a heck of a job shutting them down, and I think they were motivated. Talking to linebacker Matt McCauley afterwards, he said definitely they were motivated from that and wanted some payback. And they tried some tricks early on. They scored early, and then they try an onside kick right after their opening touchdown, and then they go reverse pass for a touchdown early. Coach Curtis said he wasn't aggressive enough, he thought, last year. So tonight he definitely showed that, went for it on fourth down a few times. And I thought their secondary played really well. Connor James was making his debut for Gilbert, and they really shut down their passing game with their speedy receivers led by Crew Morris and Connor Gooding. They didn't allow that yards after the catch, and they did a pretty good job for the most part shutting down Trayvon Williamson and Jalen Jay, who both rushed over for 1,000 yards last season.
And honestly, for a team like Lexington, who just has to play in a gauntlet of a region, winning a game that you lost last year in, I won't say heartbreaking fashion, because it wasn't like at the gun or at the buzzer or anything, but to lose it in the fashion you did, to be able to avenge that loss and prove yourself that you've got a pretty strong team and playing aggressive, which the players have to love doing, going for on fourth down, trick plays, everything that you just mentioned. How do you think this Lexington team, as new look as they are at certain positions, is going to be able to contend with the likes of Dutch Fork and now Irmo and River Bluff, who's improved? How would you kind of project where they're at now that you've gotten to see them in real meaningful football action for the first time this year?
Yeah, I think they're going to be in the mix. I think the top three, as you mentioned, Dutch Fork, Irmo, and Whitenall are the top tier of the conference. But I think they're right there with Chapin and River. It's going to be that whole region. It's going to be fun each night. With the explosiveness of their offenses and the defenses, that strong defenses throughout that region, I think they're going to be right in there. And this will definitely help confidence-wise. They got a tough they got a tough game North Augusta, and then they play Greenwood the following week. So they're definitely going to be tested region play-wise. And getting the confidence-wise, I thought Brendan Carter got better as the night went along, making his first varsity start. He ran the ball a lot, too. Wasn't afraid to take a hit. Coach Curtis said after he wishes he would slide and go down, but he wasn't. He was lowering his shoulder on some of the runs and made a couple fourth down, third down pickups to extend drives. So I think this game, like tonight, will help his confidence as well.
A couple of things for you, Lou, here packed into this question. Looking at some scores from around the Midlands area, biggest one of the night really in the Midlands area that I can think of. There's a couple. AC Flora getting a big win and getting some offense and defense after last season struggling defensively. But Lugoff Elgin going on the road down to Hopkins and taking care of Lower Richland basically at the buzzer. A head coaching debut there as well for the Demons. A big win for Lugoff Elgin as they move to 5A.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely Coach Leon Boulware has definitely come in and kind of energized that program, and just a totally different way of doing things. Lugoff Elgin was used to pounding the ball, running the ball. They're not going to do that. They're going to spread you out, and they're going to throw it and throw it and throw it, and definitely a huge win for them, especially, like you said, they're going in 5A. They're playing a lot. They're going to have Ridgeview and Spring and Sumter and Blythewood and that, so they need to start well and get some confidence. I think they got Camden next week, which should be a fun game there. And I think this does. I think it's not arriving, but I mean, I definitely new era in Lugoff Elgin football. We'll see how it goes the rest of the season, but I think the energy and just the style of play is going to be fun for Lugoff Elgin fans this season and going forward.
No question about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one thing too, just speaking of 5A, I mean, you're looking at the top 10. JL Mann is 8, and I don't know if there is a team in the top 10 in any classification that made as big of a statement win as JL Mann did tonight against Midland Valley. They went on the road to Midland Valley, won 56-0. I knew Midland Valley would take a step back because they had some big losses, but that's still a really good program, and it was a really solid team last year. How surprising is it to you that JL Mann was able to go on the road, start their season against a team like Midland Valley and be able to put up a number like that?
Yeah, I saw Midland Valley last week in Chapin Jamboree and thought they were all right. I mean, they beat Spring Valley. They have this running back, number 9. They've had, like you said, a lot of changes. They lose the Dunbar kids, graduate. I mean, they lose their head coach.
Yeah.
I mean, placed on leave and then kind of let go. And so, I mean, I thought it's going to be an interesting year for them, especially with that region. They're within BC and Gray and all those guys in Gilbert. But, yeah, JL Mann, I think, is going to be a contender, especially in that bigger 5A where Dutch Fork, everyone's playing to go after Dutch Fork. So, but I think JL Mann could make some noise in upper division in 5A.
Well, always good to hear from you, Lou, and definitely good to hear from you in week 1, as we get back to work here.
0th week.
As we get back into the swing of things here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show. Looking forward to talking with you all week, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Justin and Elijah.
That is Lou Bijak,
the man,
calling from probably the parking lot of New Wildcat Hollow as he finishes reporting on and covering that game, and then he's got some deadlines to meet before too long. A couple of notes for you here. Dreer attempting a field goal from the 8-yard line, and it is no good.
Ooh.
So it missed.
Feverish comeback attempt.
And Keenan looks like they're going to hold on there. T.L. Hanna holds on against Burns. Final score there, 19-16. Instead of attempting a field goal with 4 seconds left for Burns at the Hanna 21-yard line, they go for it all, and they come up short. I'm looking here. The quarterback scrambled through to his left, and ball was tipped incomplete in the end zone. Heartbreaker to open the season for them. Woodruff over Clinton, 40-36. That's a final there. Chapin up 47-23 over Catawba Ridge. Catawba Ridge made that a ball game there for a bit. Oceanside Collegiate lost tonight to Irmo, but I want to paint a picture for you here. They played Irmo tonight. Next week they play Calvary Day Athletics. They're the Georgia Class 3A semifinalist. Then September 5th, they're at Savannah Christian. That's the Georgia Class 3A
man.
runner-up. September 13th, they host Ashley Ridge, 5A. And then September 20th, they host the defending state 5A champion, or they go to Dutch Fork. That is a gauntlet of 5 games to open a season for Oceanside.
No,
thank you.
Having to play 2 elite Georgia schools in a state that produces so much football talent after playing Irmo, and then if Ashley Ridge is your easiest game in that stretch, that's not. That's a Florida Gator-like schedule if we're going to put college football parallels to it. We talked about how brutal their slate is this year with Samford being the only real Riot W.
Right.
That is, hey, iron sharpens iron, I guess, if we're going to keep throwing out coach cliches. But we're going to see exactly how much that iron gets sharpened. That's a good way to test your ball team. And that they're going to have some real measuring stick moments here in these next 4 weeks before they end up getting into their region play. Who knows? If you're taking a page out of the Dutch Fork book, Dutch Fork did a lot of similar stuff last year in a team that was really young and that experienced some injuries. Starting off with Colquitt County, playing Huff from North Carolina, having a national non-region slate, seemed to bode pretty well for them. Despite a 2-5 start, they end up winning another state title. Maybe this is a similar situation for Oceanside. So props to them for testing themselves. Tough loss for them week 1. I think it's more of an indictment on how good Irmo is as opposed to where Oceanside Collegiate is.
Before we hit a break, let's go back to the Love Chevy phone lines. Roger joining us again. Go ahead, Roger.
Final score: Bamber Earhart 41, Edison 10, and Bamber got shut out September 27 against Hunter County, and they should bet both of them be the top 5 by September 27.
Roger giving us some projections there along with
I
the score.
like
Just
that. And you know what?
I
see where he's coming from there too. With the night those 2 schools had, that's not out of the realm of possibility, Roger. Not at all.
We'll see what happens. We got to take a break. Come back. Final segment of the program coming up here on the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on the Game.
Let's see, landscapers I can afford. All right, searching affordable landscapers near me. Here we go.
Right here, sir. How can we help?
It's the same ones I saw last time.
Sir, we're right here and reasonably priced. Why is he not seeing us?
It looks like the ugly yard stays.
Sir, can you not see us?
Nope, he can't see you because you're buried deep in the list of local landscapers. You're invisible online. Introducing Cumulus Boost. Get a boost. Get found. Get on the map. Learn more at cumulusboost.com.
It's the Love Chevrolet countdown to Gamecock football.
8 days till kickoff.
While others take full advantage of the market with ridiculous add-on stickers, Love never sells above MSRP. Come experience the difference at Love Chevy, your trusted family-owned dealership since 1961. I-26 at Harbison and at lovechevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Deep in the heart of racing country lies a track too tough to tame. The perfect setting for the late season drama of the Southern 500.
Outside lane gets the launch.
One last chance to make a playoff push. One last chance to catch regular season racing.
All clear.
One last chance to plan a Labor Day weekend worth bragging about.
Southern 500, baby.
NASCAR weekend at Darlington Raceway, August 31st and September 1st. Get your tickets now at darlingtonraceway.com.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture, along with humor and celebrity interviews, your earbuds are enjoying The Rich Eisen Show.
Jerry Jones, when he said we're going all in, I thought Derrick Henry is going to be out there. Go get a couple of free agents, add them to the Cowboys. And instead, as we all know, they didn't do very much in free agency at all. What a difference we'd be talking about the Dallas Cowboy chances of winning it all this year if that guy was there.
Who may not have wanted to go to Dallas?
I don't know about that. Why would you want to do that?
Ravens a little bit better of a football team, maybe?
Search for The Rich Eisen Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.
It's the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show on 107.5 The Game.
Welcome back into the Love Chevy High School Scoreboard Show right here on the Game. Final segment, final few minutes of the program. Justin Hall, Elijah Campbell, Ed Bird. And because we're in our last couple of minutes of the program, I think we've got to hit that scoreboard, and which means we got some really cool music to go along with it now, too.
That's right. Hit it. Yes, absolutely. If this doesn't make you feel alive and on fire, then your wood is wet, brother. We'll go ahead and start off with our first final of the night. Northwestern, down 20 points in the fourth quarter, came back and beat Huff from North Carolina 45-44. Irmo took down Oceanside Collegiate, the defending 2A state champion, 35-7. Lexington shuts out Gilbert on television, 24-0, and avenges last year's loss. Ridgeview was up on Fairfield Central, 21-6. I don't know if we got what was the final for that one? I don't know if my
Which one was that one?
Ridgeview and Fairfield Central.
Something to 18. Let me go back and get that one right. I want to get that one right.
We are going to be back with that one. We'll go ahead and move on to some more. Hammond beat Christchurch 56-28. J.L. Mann puts the smackdown on Midland Valley 56-0. Has one of the loudest season opening wins of anybody on the night. Richland Northeast takes care of Spring Valley 29-13. Will Wilson putting on an absolute show. Lugoff Elgin with a touchdown on a double pass with 16 seconds left takes down Lower Richland 35-34.
42-18 Ridgeview over Fairfield.
42-18 Ridgeview over Fairfield Central. Boiling Springs shuts out Greer 43-0. Hilton Head Prep beats St. Andrews 19-13. Jefferson Davis beats Cross Schools 54-0. Do we get a final on Keenan Dreer?
Keenan wins that one 40-37.
40-37.
Dreer missed a field goal as time expired.
Bamberg Earhart beats Edisto 41-10. Porter Gowd beats First Baptist 59-35. Philip Simmons was up on Hanahan 28-19. I don't know if we ever got a final for that one. Columbia, this one is final, beats C.A. Johnson 22-12. Wagner Sally takes care of Denmark Olar 27-20. Gray Collegiate picks off James Island in the last drive of the game to seal a 17-14 win. Spartanburg edges out South Point 26-25. That was a thriller. Wren takes down Palmetto 35-0. Greenville Homeschool beats Thomas Jefferson Classical 25-21. The King's Academy takes care of Conway Christian 44-20. St. John's Christian falls to Colleton Prep 28-13. Lee takes down Christian Academy of Myrtle Beach 42-6. Wilson Hall in a thriller beats Orangeburg Prep 20-17, one of our more hotly contested games of the night. Northwood takes care of Pinewood Prep 24-21. Northside Christian in another back and forth game from tonight beats Calhoun 33-26. Florence Christian beats Dillon Christian 30-27. Carolina beats Faith Christian 34-12, or they're up on Faith Christian 34-12. That one's not officially final. Latta takes care of East Columbia 49-6. One of the shocking results from the night in Skeeza land, Hannah Pamplico shuts out Heathwood Hall 35-0. Hunter Kiner Tyler takes care of Allendale Fairfax 38-0. Cross shuts out Calhoun 20-0. Dixie beats Ridge Spring Monetta. Say that right? I think I said that right. Sound right to me. 37-19. Dixie wins. Waccamaw beats Carver's Bay 34-0. Union County falls to Newberry 40-14. Loris shuts out Green Sea Floyds in a not so close game, 64-0. Dillon takes care of Scotland. No, not that Scotland. This is Scotland and Laurinburg, North Carolina. Dillon wins 37-21. Mullins shuts out Hemingway 48-0. East Clarendon beats Scotts Branch 32-0. Philip Simmons by 2 beats Hanahan. I know that one was 28-19. I just now got the final as 28-26 was the final. Close game there. Marlborough County beats Lake Marion 51-6. North Central beats Great Falls 56-14. Chesterfield, the Golden Rams of Chesterfield, takes care of the Johnsonville Flashes 34-6. Cheraw beats Rick Henry 14-8. Louisville beats Pageland Central 20-0. Swansea, after going winless last year, gets a W. They beat Mid Carolina 27-20. They got them a win.
Let's go quickly out to the Love Chevy phone lines. Our buddy Nathan Martin is on the line for us. And as we near the end of the program, Nathan, I want to get you in here. What you got for us?
We had North Central tonight getting a big win over Great Falls, 56-14. North Central really only threw the ball a couple of times. On one of the touchdowns was a touchdown pass. The rest of it was all on the ground. really just kind of took the game over early and got a big win to start the season. And I think North Central is going to be a team that can make some noise in Class 2A. Daniel Sisk is in his second year, and you can really see the quarterback, Ashton Brazel, is in his second season as a quarterback and in Coach Sisk's system. And I really think they got a chance to make some noise. I'll be in a tough region with AJ, Buford, Chesterfield, but it was nice to kick off our season with a North Central night win. Now we got a big one tomorrow night with White Knoll at Camden. So a good way to start the high school football season with a win for North Central. We'll see what the Bulldogs can do tomorrow in a big matchup. White Knoll, obviously, a really good football team, so I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, that should be a really good one, Nathan. We appreciate you giving us a call. Typically used to a Camden update there, but obviously Camden tomorrow, so we appreciate it, bud, and we look forward to talking with you next week.
Sounds good, man.
Looking real quick, he mentioned tomorrow. There is another game tomorrow, too. Creekside at Westside. The Westside Rams could be one of the better teams in the state this year again. And White Knoll, he mentioned it. White Knoll going to Camden for a week 0-ish matchup. Is that considered week 1 at that point? Since you're Saturday now, not Friday? Is that week 1?
I'm counting it.
I'll allow it. White Knoll at Camden.
We get to make the rules around here.
Yeah, of course. A few more scores?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a few more scores. Abbeville crushes Southside Christian 41-7. Columbia C.A. Johnson, we already got that one there earlier, 22-12. Belton Hanea Path beats Broome. That was a top 10 matchup. Belton Hanea Path, BHP, wins 45-14. Strom Thurmond was strong Thurmond tonight. They beat McCormick 47-6. Saluda took care of Crescent 20-6. Pillion falls in their first game of the year against Williston Elko 27-6. In the fourth quarter, we don't have an official final, but Walhalla is leading Landrum 20-7. Woodruff in a thriller beats Clinton. That one was back and forth all night. Clinton took a lead late in the game, and Woodruff scores seemingly late to take care of business in that one. Pendleton beats Chesney 47-21. Myrtle Beach, after there wasn't a lot of scoring in this game, but Myrtle Beach got enough scoring done. They beat Lake City 21-6. Hampton County beat Colleton County 41-20. Bluffton beats Whale Branch 57-0. In the fourth quarter, kind of a surprise. West Florence hanging in there. South Florence only up 7 as last reporting, 23-16. The South Florence Bruins, one of the favorites to win a state title, is in a dogfight.
We can confirm final score there. South Florence wins 23-16.
They were, they had to work for it.
They did.
They had to really work for it.
By the way, in case you're interested, as we wrap up the program, the Keenan Raiders got a win tonight under interim head coach Jarrett Neely. Head coach Ray McLeod, according to interim coach Jarrett Neely, no longer with the team.
Ooh.
That's all we got.
Interesting.
So that's the case there. Busy week 0, and we're already done. We're out of here. We're done. It's over. Week 0-ish has ended. Week 1, week 2 of the program, next week, 7 to 11, here on 107.5 The Game. Don't miss it. We'll have you covered. Almost every team is in action next week. For Elijah Campbell and Ed Bird, I'm Justin Hall. We'll talk to you guys next Friday night.
In need of commercial or residential sprinkler repair, upfits, or installation? Make It Rain is the team for the job. With unmatched quality and support, you can trust Make It Rain to get the job done right the first time. No rain, no pain. Don't wait any longer to transform your outdoor space. Call Make It Rain Irrigation and Landscapes today at 803-673-6337.